It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. Well, to no one's surprise, Tarek Skubal dominated on the bump once again last night for the Tigers, going 7 scoreless. His last 4 starts, 30 and a 2/3 inning pitch, just 1 earned run, a .29 ERA, with 32 strikeouts and just 2 walks allowed. And every time you see Skubal take the mound, Tigers fans more and more want him to sign that extension to stay in Detroit. But to me, I think every time Tarek Skubal takes the mound and continues to look like the back-to-back Cy Young in the American League, his price tag rises. He's going to be the highest paid pitcher in Major League Baseball one way or another, whether it comes via extension through the Tigers or in a year and a half when he hits the open market. I think the Tigers have passed the time where they can extend Tarek Skubal, because why would he sign the extension now when he knows these other teams that have shown to pay top dollar to other free agents in the past will pay more than expected once he hits the open market? So the real question is, if Tarek Skubal is going to hit the open market in a half, that is the world win. It's now Detroit. You don't trust that match any offer other big-time market teams are going to offer him in free agency after the 2026 season. I'm just enjoying these Tarek Skubal starts while we have him, because this World Series window for the Tigers is now before Tarek Skubal becomes a free agent in a year and a half. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at michiganbaseballfoundation.org.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Appointment radio across the state.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. Happy Friday to the Great Lakes Bay region. Happy Friday to everyone watching on YouTube. I'm pumped up because it's Friday and because we've got a very fun show planned out for today. Kyle's producing for us as always. Look, man, we've got some good stuff planned. I'm really excited for this open that we're about to do. But before we get into that, just a couple things to take care of. First of all, subscribe on the YouTube page if you haven't already. Yes, I am aware. I know what you're thinking. Parker Meadows made me look stupid yesterday. So stupid. He joins a long list of athletes that have made me look dumb ever since I started working here. Said yesterday, hey, we're not having the conversation about Parker Meadows, but we're in the parking lot to enter the lobby to have the conversation about Parker Meadows. We drove away. Right? We got back in the car, we started up and drove away. Hits the home run in the 9-hole, which we kind of recommended he should be in until he figures it out. I hope he's back in that leadoff spot today. Nice to see him making plays out there yesterday for the Tigers. And speaking of the Tigers, we led with them basically 4 days this week. We've talked nonstop Tarik Skubal, contract, dominance. He was dominant once again yesterday. His ERA over the last 4 starts is ungodly, seriously. But if it's okay with everyone, we've been talking about them for so long, so much this week. I wanted to put a pin on the Tigers. We'll be back on Monday with them. And I'm sure they'll come up throughout the show today, but we're not going to lead with Tarik Skubal today. I've got something a little bit more fun for Friday the 13th. But before we get to that, one more thing. Sarah's coming back today. Back by popular demand. Last week, our director of sales, Sarah Stockford, sat in that chair right there, gave us a take at the end of the show. And I told her, I was like, I just need your unfiltered thoughts. Give me one thing. And not only did she deliver, she hit a grand slam out of the park. She opens the mic and says, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, overrated, sucks. You shouldn't say worst quarterback in the league, but most overrated quarterback in the league. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. This is perfect. Chiefs accounts across Twitter Nation aggravated the hell out of it. She blew up in Kansas City, just started getting Kansas City people harassing her on her personal Instagram. So I cannot wait to see how she tops that today. That is coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Before we get to this open, real quick note, before we went live on 100.9 The Mitt, we were listening to Anthony Bellino close his show out. And he said something that I just had to bring up because it was one of the dumber things I've ever heard him say. He said, if you don't have a top 10 pick in the NBA, it's a useless pick. Do you know how many of the last MVPs and superstars and even the guys in the finals are not top 10 picks? What was his argument, Kyle? I guess I don't understand what he was arguing. Was he basically saying if you don't have a top 10 pick, it's not even worth making the pick, so therefore the Pistons should trade for Kevin Durant? Because if you're making an argument to trade for Kevin Durant, that's a terrible bullet point. That's like cross that bullet point out and come up with something else.
He didn't say it's a useless pick, but he basically said if you don't have a pick in the top 10, like, what's the point in having a first-round pick? Like, you're fine trading it if it's not top 10 in the NBA.
I'm just trying to think of the last MVPs. Shea, not a top 10 pick. Jokic, second-round pick. Giannis, not a top 10 pick. Tyrese
and then you
Halliburton.
Look at the current finals. Halliburton is not a top 10 pick. Shea, the two best players.
We're better than that, Anthony. We're better than that. I know that. Trading for Kevin Durant's one thing. I'm not on board with it. Although I'm starting to be a little bit more open to it. I will say.
Really? Interesting.
Just a little bit. I'm still out.
We'll save that for next week.
Yeah, I'm like, if last week I was like 95% out, 5% in, I'm probably like 85% out and 15% in now.
Well, good thing it's not going to happen. So
yeah, good thing it's not going to happen. Okay, the open I wanted to do it. It is Friday the 13th, and yesterday we were doing the Loons game, and I looked at John. I said, "What should I do for the open tomorrow, John?" And John was like, "Well, it's Friday the 13th." I told him being in an octagon with Penei Sewell is the scariest thing I can think of. And then that inspired me to start developing this topic of Detroit sport athletes who would be the UFC champion in each weight class, in each division. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divisions starting at lightweight. Every Detroit athlete is qualified as long as you are under that weight class. So I want to go through these, and we'll pick a winner. We'll pick a number one contender, 2 guys fighting for the championship belt. This is UFC, right? This is combat. This isn't who can hit each other the hardest in an Oklahoma drill, because you'd think the Lions would dominate this. But after I'm done with it, I might be able to convince you otherwise. At lightweight, I could only find one person that qualifies, and to be considered a lightweight, you got to be 155 and under. Tigers.com says Kaiser Montero is 145. I don't believe that at all. Not even a little bit. That may have been the weight that he was when they drafted him. There is a 0% chance that guy still weighs 145. But that is the only person I could find of the 4 sports that was under that 155 mark. So I guess when he was When he was drafted in 2017, maybe he did qualify for that. I have a really hard time believing him at 6'1" is still under 155.
He's closer to 245 than 145. And that's not like as a slight.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you see him on the mound. He's not
He's
skinny.
a big guy.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I threw in a couple guys maybe here for, funny purposes. Jason Benetti, maybe. Is he in that range? Dan Dickerson? 155
I don't think
is
so.
tough.
That's light,
Dickerson's tall.
Dickerson is tall. That's pretty light.
It's pretty light, yeah.
So I guess by default, Kaiser Montero has to win that.
I guess so.
He's like one of those fighters that can fluctuate in weight by extreme amounts when he's training, like Patty the Batty. Just
right.
Insane weight drop while he's training. And then his natural weight is actually like 175, and somehow he cuts 20 pounds. So Kaiser Montero wins our lightweight championship. Welterweights, 170 and below. I have 3 contenders. Not a lot of guys. Reese Olson is listed in here, although I, again, don't know if I believe that he's under 170, at least when he was drafted. We have Dennis Jenkins, played 7 games for the Pistons this season, averaged exactly 1 point per game. And we have Albert Johansson, Red Wings defenseman, actually has never been in a fight in the NHL. I'm going to go with him because I feel like the hockey players just deserve the benefit of the doubt in this situation, and I know almost nothing about Dennis Jenkins. So, and I just don't think Reese Olson is a fighter,
Can I give you a name that you didn't mention?
Yeah.
And it's your boy?
Chase Lee?
Chase Lee,
I have
170.
I have him down at 170 in the next division, but if he qualifies for this, I might have...
I mean, the welterweight is 170,
Yeah, give him some time to cut. Actually, if you're going to move him up to the next one, the thing I wrote down about Chase Lee is he would have no chance in middleweight because he's like the lightest end of it.
Right.
But if you move him to this, not only is he the heaviest person, he probably has a nasty uppercut, hook shot hybrid coming down from the side. And if he hits you with that thing once, you're done. Because he's got the, I don't know if I'd quite call it submarine, but the sidearm. If he hits you with that thing once, right there, you're done. He wins. I think I might pick him as my winner here if we're going to move him to welterweight, which we are.
I would pick him as the winner, too. He was my winner of welterweight.
Because of that hook shot that he's got? The nasty
and there's just not a lot of
uppercut?
guys.
No, there's not a lot of guys. You think he could take on Albert Johansson, though? He's never been in a fight, though. He's never been in a fight in the
Wings
NHL.
Guys have a bigger advantage than probably any other team just because they fight the most. I know football maybe just because they're an aggressive sport, too. But the hockey guys really have the upper hand here. So I guess I would go, yeah.
Fighting in an octagon, like being able to take the punches. The hockey guys definitely have the toughest chin of all these guys. But actually fighting on ground rather than skates, I think is completely different. Okay, so we're going with Chase Lee as our welterweight champion. Again, we're doing Detroit sports athletes, crowning a UFC champion in each weight class. Why? Well, because why not? Middleweight, 185 and below. There's a lot of candidates here. Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Kane, Alex DeBrincat, the cat with the gat, Wenzel Perez, Tyler Owens, Jamison Williams, and Khalif Raymond. A lot of good candidates. Dennis Schroeder, I want to throw out there. I think this is going to sound crazy. He might be the number 1 contender here.
Wow,
because
he's the lightest guy here.
He is fearless. Wenzel Perez is 170, so he could have qualified for that last one too, but I have him in here. Dennis Schroeder's fearless. That's what we know about him. Just in the last few years, he's gotten into a fight with Giannis, SGA, Mike Kahnle. He's played with most of these guys too. Brunson, Josh Hart. When he wasn't a Piston, Isaiah Stewart.
He got into a beef stew. I guess I don't remember that.
And not only that, in the Olympics, in a warm-up game, he choked out Evan Fournier. Like 2 hands wrapped around this guy's neck and started choking him. He's fearless. I think he might be the number 1 contender here. Patrick Kane has never been in a fight in 18 seasons in the NHL. You're disqualified. You don't want the smoke, dude.
Wow, he don't want the smoke.
He doesn't want the smoke. Alex DeBrincat at 180, 11 total fights in 8 years. He's 2-1 in the past 2 seasons at 180, but only 5'8", but kind of a dense guy. I think he's the number 2 contender right now. Wencel Perez, only 5'10", 170, so at the bottom of the weight for this weight class. But I feel like he's like a dense dude. A ton of athleticism. I don't know. I just feel like he's like a dense athlete. Versatile. Jamison Williams and Kahnle Freeman, I'll just say this. I think Kahnle Freeman would win in a fight if they had to go. I don't envision Jamison Williams having too much of a ground game. He's probably got some good hooks in him, but once he gets taken down to the ground, it might be over for J-Mo. I can't imagine him being a very good wrestler. So with that being said, and again, this isn't Oklahoma drills. All the football players would win. This is in a cage, combat. Dennis Schroeder, Alex DeBrincat, Kahnle Freeman, and Wencel Perez is my final candidates for who would take the belt here. Who are my final 2? Help me narrow this down as to who's competing for the title here. Or do we just throw all 4 of them in a cage and see who comes out on top? Fatal
I think
4-way style.
Kahnle Freeman is a sleeper here.
I
really do. Like, you see his physique. He's kind of crazy, right? He got it out the mud. Returns punts. Those guys are a little, that's a tough spot.
You got to be a little fearless to do that as well.
Right. I think Kahnle Freeman is the sneaky pick here.
Not Dennis Schroeder, the guy who's actively trying to fight everyone he's
That's a good
up against.
matchup. It's a good matchup.
I didn't think Dennis Schroeder would be at the top of my priority list here.
Right.
But after a quick Google search and forgetting and remembering every single person he's had an altercation with, it's like, oh yeah, Giannis, the 2-time MVP, 1-time finals champ, 1-time defensive player of the year. You want to go toe-to-toe right now? Let's do it. There's a little psycho with him. That's why I think I think
that's fair.
He qualifies for this. So if the final 2 are Dennis Schroeder and Kahnle Freeman, we're pissing off the hockey fans so much here. Sorry, Alex DeBrincat.
Not a fighter.
Not a
Well,
fighter.
no, you said Kane wasn't a fighter, yeah.
Kane's the one. 18 seasons, no fights.
I thought about sneaking Lucas Raymond into this weight class, too, just because he's 188. He could cut 3 pounds,
Could cut some pounds.
but I didn't.
Oh, he's in the next one. Lucas Raymond also has never been in a fight.
Right.
Great. There's a great website for this. I don't know if you know this. It's called Hockey Fights. You can go watch any fight that's ever happened.
Really? I did not know that.
Sort it by
Let's
player.
check that out.
It's fantastic. Dennis Schroeder, Kahnle Freeman. And then we're going to have to take a break and finish this in the next segment because, wow, this is flying by. I feel like it's got to be Kahnle Freeman, but this goes 5 rounds. This goes the distance. No knockouts in this. Dennis Schroeder's not getting knocked out. But by decision, Kahnle Freeman ends up winning this middleweight class. Fair? Okay.
That's what I would go with.
Okay. 989-837-6125. I would love to see what other people have to say about this. 989-837-6125. So if you've got some takes on this, who's to be the winner of a UFC fight? Detroit Sport Athletes. Go ahead and text that in. We're live on YouTube as well. You can leave a comment on there. We'll get to that and finish this up. It is the Ben Bosscher Show on a Friday, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
At Aird & Garcia Insurance Group, they understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. That's why they're dedicated to working with our clients to provide an insurance plan that's specific to you.
Whether you need life, home, auto, business, and farm, with their team's extensive knowledge and over 100 years combined experience, you can guarantee they work hard to put you in the best insurance position.
The experience matters. Aird & Garcia Insurance Group, Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
Bucks Run Golf Club is an award-winning 18-hole championship golf course. The Quarry Grill offers a casual, fine dining restaurant with a patio overlooking the course and scenic Lake Fisher. Bucks Run centralized location makes it a convenient day trip from anywhere in Michigan. Explore the custom play and stay golf packages featuring 11 course options and 9 lodging options, which now include the cottages at Bucks Run. Just 20 minutes from Dow Diamond off M20 in Mount Pleasant. Bucks Run, a proud member of the Fisher Companies. Learn more at bucksrun.com.
Experience world-class golf and family fun at the Dow Championship. Returning to Midland Country Club June 23rd to the 29th. Come and see top LPGA professionals compete in the only team-based event on the tour. Explore interactive fan experiences, family-friendly activities, and delicious local food vendors. Plus, veterans and children under 17 get in free. Don't miss out. Visit DowChampionship.com today for more information.
If you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For everyone here. We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies us. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Friday to the Great Lakes Bay region. We're having a fun conversation right now because we're trying to list the who would be a UFC champion of Detroit sports athletes right now of every weight class. So far we have Kyder Montero at lightweight, even though we don't believe he's actually 145. Chase Lee at welterweight, and then Kali Freeman at middleweight. Let's go through these next two a little bit quicker, Kyle. We've got, because we have a crazy story to get to involving one of the Tigers relievers. Light heavyweight, 205 and under. I have nominated Asar Thompson, Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, and Javier Baez. And I'm not going to lie. I think if Asar Thompson was in the octagon, he would just be Israel Adesanya. You would not be able to get this guy. He'd dodge every single strike, and you'd be able to stop his strikes in no way, shape, or form. Be like a cobra. No chance anyone's stopping his strikes.
He'd be really fast.
He's way too athletic. He'd be Adesanya. I don't know if he'd have too much of a ground game, but he might not need it because he's the most athletic freak on this list that we've talked about. Dylan Larkin, not a big fighter. 8 fights in his career. 1-3 since the pandemic. Lucas Raymond never been in a fight. I feel like Javi's got a good ground game. Like, could see him get in the boxing ring. See him thriving there, but UFC, I don't know.
He really wanted to fight that umpire.
He did
a couple weeks back.
He did. Although I'm also convinced this isn't a Javi thing, it's an anyone thing. Once there's guys there to hold you back, you're just way more likely to start showing aggression because you know
that's an
it's
every
not
athlete
actually
thing.
going to. This isn't even an athlete thing. Like
Yeah,
if you're
it's
about
every
to get
guy.
in a fight, you're almost like hoping your boys come and hold you back so you can pretend like
back,
you're
bro.
actually going to get in a fight. Meanwhile, if your boys were like, all right, go. I think most guys would just stop. Like I'm not
That's
a fighter.
a really good take.
I've never been in a fight, if I'm being completely honest. But if my guys were holding me back, I might be a little bit more like,
You're lucky my guys are holding me back
yeah,
right now.
yeah. And if my guys were just letting me go, I think I'd be like, wait, no, keep holding me back so we can show off like we are going to fight. Yeah, I'm going with Asar Thompson here, man. I think he'd be a nasty UFC guy, honestly.
So I think there's a couple guys here, though, that have contention. Mo Sider, right there at 205. Parker Meadows, also right at 205.
Too tall.
See, it could help, though.
Yeah, but I say he's too tall, and then Asar Thompson's
Brian
taller
Branch
than
at
him.
203. Like,
you know what I thought about when I was thinking about Brian Branch for this? I feel like Brian Branch would be a really good wrestler. So I looked up if he was a wrestler in high school, and he wasn't. He was a basketball player. I actually got an offer to play basketball in college.
any love for St. Brown at 202?
Yes. But I think the overwhelming athleticism from Asar is just like, I'm telling you, he would be Adesanya. You wouldn't be able to hit him.
Yeah. Here's my sleeper pick, though, for real. Kind of cheated. This guy needs to lose 1 pound. He can do it.
I know who you're
Ron
talking about.
Holland at 206.
Oh.
We seen the Ron Holland this year. He was the definition of the hold me back dude. Like, threw up the fist with Clarkson.
Yeah, but
and then started backing away.
Just because he's willing to fight, I don't think makes him a good fighter, though.
He's gotten in like 5 scraps this year.
I know, but that time he
As a
raised his
rookie.
hand. That time he put his fists up, and Jordan Clarkson same way because he's done it a couple times. They
Clarkson
just look
is
like
the king
idiots.
of that.
They look like
Yeah.
idiots.
They really do look like idiots. And then they get suspended for not even fighting.
Yeah, because they raised their hands.
Yes.
I'm still going with Asar, man.
Yeah.
I can't be convinced otherwise.
I think that's valid, but I don't know. I think you're kind of sleeping on Brian Branch a little bit here.
I could be. 203.
It's really hard.
They're very similar sizes to you. Okay, super heavyweight. We'll get through these
We
ones
have
fast.
regular heavyweight, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Heavyweight. Anything from 205 to 265.
Toughest one yet.
I don't think it is.
Really?
This is where you'd think the Detroit Lions would dominate. However, most of the Bubs are more than 265. And there's 2 Detroit Pistons
Yes.
that come to mind in Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren. 2 of the just most dense, strong, pound-for-pound guys in the NBA. Isaiah Stewart, known fighter. Jalen Duren, not a known fighter.
Dog pound, though.
Known freak muscular dude, like weird strength.
And
Overwhelming
willing to get
strength.
in a fight, though. Like, he's not a known fighter, but definitely would.
Has the really long wingspan, too. Mo Sider, I put in here.
Okay.
Derek Barnes, I think, is a good candidate. And then just for the sake of it, I threw Torkelson and Carpenter in here, but come on.
No Scoobs. 240. I mean, I think
Yeah,
Scoobs
okay,
is the scariest
yeah.
guy in the Tigers,
No, you're
honestly.
right. I didn't write them down, but you're right. But I think any of those guys would get their butts kicked by Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, Mo Sider, or Derek Barnes. It's really between those 4 guys. And I think I'm going with Isaiah Stewart. There's evidence
Yeah.
he knows how to do it.
Duren's just a little bit bigger, like lengthwise. Same weight for Stu and Duren, though. But yeah, Beef Stew might be the scariest guy in the entirety of the NBA. So as far as Detroit athletes go, I feel like that has to have him reign king. I will say, though, from the Lions' perspective, I thought about Derek Barnes. I went with a different linebacker, Jack Campbell, 246, 6'5".
9.98 raw score coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
Not going
I
to
was
tire
thinking
down.
Jack Campbell here. It's definitely Stu and Duren, though, and I'd probably go with Stu.
Super
Can I
heavyweight.
give one funny one, though?
Absolutely. Dan
Campbell.
We just got a text that said that.
6'5".
Patrick just
He
texted
fits
and said
this.
that exact
Did he
same
really?
thing. Yeah, Dan. I feel like Dan Campbell's had one too many like lower body surgeries the past few years to
Right.
to be in this.
For sure, but also no one wants to face that guy.
Oh no! If it was other coaches across all
Oh,
4
duh.
sports,
Yeah,
number
Pete
1
Carroll,
seed.
good luck, buddy.
Super heavyweight. I only wrote down 2 people.
Matt LaFleur is getting his butt whooped.
What about Mike McDaniel down in Miami?
Right, yeah.
Super heavyweight. I only wrote down 2 people, even though many, many more qualify. But I've been to training camp a handful of times, both as a fan and a media member. And the number one thing you are excited about every single time is an Aiden Hutchinson versus Penei Sewell one-on-one drill matchup. There's nothing more exciting than it. Every single person in Allen Park turns their head to that exact matchup. Even if it's a 2-second drill, one-on-one, Aiden Hutchinson try to touch the dummy, you know? Here's the thing. Sewell has the crazy advantage. He's 335, 6'5". Hutchinson, 268, 6'7". But Hutchinson has that thing that an edge rusher has, where Sewell's a protector at heart. Hutchinson has that freakish, like, overwhelming 6'7", running at you, nothing you can do to stop me from getting to where I need to go. And because of that twitchiness and huge frame, I'm actually going with Hutchinson here, even though he has 60 pounds less. Nothing against Sewell, man, but Hutchinson has that like scary, does whatever it takes mentality. Not that Sewell doesn't, but I think I'd go with Hutchinson here. Just the overwhelming size and athleticism. He's
I
my
thought
super
about
heavyweight champ.
Cheating and putting Hutchinson in heavyweight because he's only 3 pounds over, and I think that would be interesting. But
He
Hutch
would
over
kill
Sewell,
everybody,
no.
I think. You think
he'd kill both Stu and Duren?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I do.
He's got the weight on him.
And the strength, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's close. I think it'd be a good fight. I think you're sleeping on the Sewell versus Dan Skipper matchup, though. I think that would be fun.
Might be.
Battle of the O-linemen. Sewell wins.
Logan in the chat said if Mo Sider doesn't win his weight class, this is all wrong. We did not go with Mo Sider. Because the problem with Mo Sider was...
He just sneaks in, yeah.
Yeah, he's 206. And heavyweight...
He can lose a pound.
He could. And if he
put him in light heavyweight.
And if we were to do that, he probably beats Asar Thompson. But if we're qualifying him for heavyweight, which we are, and he's got to go against someone 45 pounds heavier than him, I'm not taking Mo Sider, man. I'm just not doing it. We're going to piss off the hockey fans today, man. 989-837-6125. Just wanted to start a Friday on a good note. We've got a crazy story about Tommy Kahnle a little bit later on in the show. We've got fake Detroit Lions headlines from Minicamp because they're not doing a Minicamp this year because their season in spring, I keep saying spring training. Their preseason training, their training camp starts a little bit early because they've got that Hall of Fame game. I'm jealous of it, so we're going to make up our own headlines about it. All that coming up right here on the Ben Bosscher Show. Take a quick time out and come right back. But before we do that, I got to tell you, if you're going out this weekend, if you're going to one of the Great Lakes, you're going to have to stop by Dive and Glide. Explore the Great Lakes, shipwrecks, and dive into adventure with Dive and Glide. Sign up for open water diver courses at diveandglideinc.com. Learn the skills, practice, and get certified. Whether you're a beginner or just brushing up on your skills, they've got the classes to get you underwater with confidence. If you're already a pro, shop the best in state-of-the-art gear online. Fins, regulators, masks, gauges, and more. Visit diveandglideinc.com and gear up for your next underwater adventure. That's diveandglideinc.com, Michigan's home for all things scuba. We'll hit the news when we come back. And again, we've got fake headlines coming up. Stay with us. Ben Bosscher Show on a Friday, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Great Lakes falling last night to Wisconsin in Game 3 of 6 here at Dow Diamond, score 9-2. Luke Fox went 6 strong, striking out 6, but Wisconsin would lead the whole way to take Game 3. But those 2 runs that the Loons got, coming in the bottom of the 6th inning, Zaire Hope continued his stellar season for Great Lakes with an extra base hit that scored 2.
The 1-2. Hope swings, liner in the air to right, and that one's trouble. One hops the wall. George will score. DePaula hits third. It's dug out in right. The throw coming from the middle infield is not in time. DePaula head first with the dive, comes across.
We got a ton of fun coming this weekend here at Dow Diamond. It was Pride Night last night, Friday the 13th tonight, so it's a Halloween night, Saturday Star Wars night, and Sunday a Father's Day celebration. First pitch Friday, same time, 7:05, pregame coverage at 6:50 on 100.9 The Mitt.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Hey sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, nah. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. We've got a wild story that I wasn't made aware of until Logan in the chat let us know about it. But now that I've seen it, I can't stop thinking about it. Tommy Kahnle, the Detroit Tigers relief pitcher, gave up a home run last night. And Evan Petzold for the Detroit Free Press made mention of this on Twitter last night, that apparently, this is so strange, apparently every time that this guy gives up a run, he shaves his entire body as a personal punishment. Huh? What?
Come on, bro.
Is he showing up with no eyebrows tomorrow? I'm so confused. I'm so confused because he's not bald, and he's given up more than a run this year, right? That can't be the first run he's given up.
Of course it's not. He doesn't have a 0 ERA.
Right. I'm baffled by this.
It's definitely too much information. So
great job on Petzold figuring this out.
Yeah,
that's
great
weird.
story.
I don't know how that comes up naturally.
Remember yesterday off camera I mentioned to you, like, what's the craziest position group in baseball or in sports?
Yeah, and I said it's just defensive linemen.
And I said bullpen guys. That was
you might be right.
by seeing this story. That's what made me think of that. Because what are we talking about?
That's so strange, dude.
It has to be non-face, I would assume. I mean, maybe like his beard, but not his eyebrows and hair. We would have seen it already.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm ready to be done talking about it, but like
I'm not. I want to dive into this some more. Like, what are we doing, Kahnle? That is the weirdest personal punishment I've ever heard of in my entire life. But
how do you even do it? Like, someone's got to shave your back for you.
Is he married? Is he like, all right, honey, I gave up a run. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Get the razor blades.
A personal punishment is crazy.
Is it a personal punishment, or is he just
That's
like,
how he phrases it.
Keeping it clean, man. Some guys, shaving their chest
People do
anyway.
that, yeah. It's not like an odd thing, but to do it as a punishment, that's pretty weird.
For giving up a run in which
you give up runs.
And we were watching the game here last night, like the low and inside changeup.
Yeah, it was a really tough home run.
Yeah, like it was a good pitch. For you to, you know what? Great pitch. Not mad at the location. Not mad at the decision. Went over the fence. You know what that means, honey? Get the razor blades out. We're having a party tonight. Like, just weird behavior from Tommy Kahnle. Okay, yeah, we can be done talking about it because just so strange. Like, because there's no way you can shave like the back of your. I guess people do it. I don't know. I just can't really envision it. Okay. Someone in the chat said, could LeBron fight in the UFC? Prime LeBron? Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Prime LeBron? Absolutely.
Of course LeBron could fight in the UFC.
Yeah. But he'd be like heavyweight. That'd be the problem. He'd be going up against like John Jones, even at his prime.
So? LeBron is 6'8".
John Jones is the scariest guy alive. John Jones.
LeBron is like perfect for heavyweight, though. He's like 260, 250.
If there was a bracket of 8 billion people in the world and every single person was seated John Jones would be the number 1 overall seed. I don't think anyone would beat him, especially in his prime. I'm not sure anybody could beat him now, and now he's like old.
See, this is just bringing back that gorilla talk.
Someone else that texted in said the weirdest position group of sports is definitely goalies. You should see Alex Lyon. Well, we haven't seen Alex Lyon a couple months because the Red Wings aren't playing right now. Goalies, specifically hockey goalies. I guess I'm not too
informed on how weird they are.
Or
crazy.
Soccer goalies, are they also
Psycho.
weird? Maybe. I don't know. Let's do some news, man. We got to move on.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's hop into the news. Talked about it earlier. Tigers win. Tarek Skubal, 4 straight starts now of 7+ innings, Ben. They're back at home tonight after taking the series against Baltimore, against the Reds, and it's Kiter Montero and all 145 pounds of him taking on Nick Martinez.
Yeah, I'm excited. We'll be here, so we'll be monitoring it. But yeah, big one. But glad to be back at home. It feels like every weekend at Comerica Park is going to be pretty electric for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Other than that, Kiter Montero had a tough last start, so looking to bounce back from that. I'll be very curious to see where Parker Meadows is in the starting lineup today after his first home run of the season.
As soon as he's down to the 9-hole, he hits the bottom. So,
do you keep him in the 9-hole because he had success there, or it's like, all right, you got your home run, you got your mojo back.
That's what they did with
back
Javi.
To the leadoff spot.
He stayed in the 9-hole forever, even when he was doing well.
But he never was someone that you wanted to take that that leadoff spot. Parker's ideally in that first leadoff spot, but he had some success at the bottom. So do you keep him there?
I can see them moving him right back up, honestly.
I'd put him right back up depending on who the starting pitcher is tonight.
Wow, just completely flipped the take on Parker Meadows.
He hit home run.
I thought you were panicked.
No. Remember, the panic button was over there. We located it. We were in the parking lot thinking whether or not we need to go in the building and sit in the lobby and wait to have a conversation about Parker Meadows. But we decided to drive away. It's all good.
Okay. All right, last night, Oilers, another overtime game. They win this one against the Panthers to tie it up 2-2.
Dude.
Leon Draisaitl, his 4th overtime goal of this playoffs.
Dude.
Unreal.
Tied an NHL record for Stanley Cup playoffs. This has been such an entertaining series, and we're going to do a little NBA NHL comparison on the finals later. But I guess a little bit of a spoiler for that segment. We're just really lucky right now. Like 2025 finals in general, out of the park so far. A 10 out of 10 on both sides.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was kind of a blowout.
I'm just talking NBA NHL finals.
Okay.
It's been a great past week and a half.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, 3 overtime games out of 4 in the NHL.
They've played an extra game in a period so far. We've played 4 periods of overtime already. It's insane.
Pretty crazy. Tied up 2-2, headed to Game 5. We got Game 4 tonight in the NBA.
Wait, I've got one more thing on the NHL thing. Did you stay up for the whole thing last night?
Yes, I watched the goal happen as I got home. So.
Oh, okay. I was like
perfect as I walked in the door.
I was like this.
The bank shot. It was basically a pass that just ends up in the net. It looked like a pass at least.
We'll save the rest of the hockey stuff for later.
Let's do the NBA stuff right now. Pacers Thunder, Game 4. Tonight, OKC 6-point favorites, 8:30. 2-1, Indiana's up.
It's so funny. They were 5.5-point favorites in the last game. They lost, and now they're 6.5-point favorites. Everyone's just expecting a response, but I don't know, man. They looked like they were playing on their heels the last 5 minutes of the last game in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Like, they lost their swagger. And they're going to have to find that again if they want a shot.
Swagger back tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
All right. Patriots to unveil Tom Brady's statue on August 8th. Will it be a good statue, Ben? Because the statues we get in 2025 and just current modern day, they all, kind of blow.
You're just talking about the Dwayne Wade statue, right?
I mean, just all the statues are just really? That's the statue?
They have to do the Tom Brady one justice. They have to. When do we get a Miguel Cabrera statue in Comerica Park? That needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Hall of Fame, maybe? Once he's in?
he's going to be a first ballot. Why not just put it in this offseason? I'd say put it in this offseason. If they win a World Series, they have to put him in there. Like,
it seems like the Tigers' priorities are on, stadium renovation, stuff like that. So I could see it happening.
Yeah.
All right, we got the UFL championship game this weekend. Panthers, Defenders, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Ben, will you watch a snap of this game?
Well, I'll be here. And the Tigers will... I don't know, they've got a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. Is that Stanley Cup night? Maybe I'll watch a snap. Maybe I'll watch a snap. There's no Stanley Cup on Saturday night?
That's what I'm double-checking right now.
I feel like there is. There has to be, right?
Okay, yeah, it is. Same
probably
time,
not.
too,
Yeah,
8
probably
p.m.
not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But I'll be
Will
here.
you guys be watching? Let us know in the YouTube chat or text us, because I am interested if I want to tune in either. All right, we got some more Sunday Night Baseball news. Tigers Twins flexed to Sunday Night Baseball on June 29th, the first Sunday Night Baseball game at Comerica Park in 8 years. That's actually kind of crazy.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
There's nothing really like the Sunday Night Baseball feel because every game is done. It's the only night game of the day. There's just a different type of energy. I couldn't believe it had been 8 years since Sunday Night Baseball was in Comerica Park. That's way too long. But hopefully it's a little bit more of a staple now. Also, side note, I didn't know that that Major League Baseball could flex games. They should do this on a week-to-week basis. Sunday Night Baseball should not be like a preseason, we have the schedule. It should be 2 weeks out, we pick the game.
Like just what the best pitching matchup is or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Who's hot, who's not. Just trying to
it's a good
save
time
baseball,
to do it, obviously, for Tigers Twins. All right, let's close things out. Antonio Brown being searched for arrest by police for the attempted murder charge during a celebrity boxing match last month in Miami. Man, we can't go, 3 months without an Antonio Brown headline?
And he hasn't played football in like 3 years. It's the crazy part about it. CMU's very own Antonio Brown. Yeah, what a nut job, man. What a nut job.
So.
Remember when
I do want to say quick.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, remember when we were in the building when he graduated 2 years ago?
That was unreal. Unexpectedly arriving.
Just pulled up McGurk Arena. Just watched him graduate.
Just
handed his diploma.
Disrupted the graduation.
And then
probably 50 different graduates just got up in the middle of the ceremony to take pictures, baby.
I would have done the same thing.
Right in the middle of the thing.
I would have done the same thing, man.
So
I really
good.
would have.
I will give a quick U.S. Open leaderboard update as well, because we got that going on. JJ Spawn continues to lead, but he hasn't teed off yet today. Doesn't tee off till 12:52 at 4 under. Brooks Koepka getting a little bit hot right now. He's 2 under. And Tristan Lawrence. Tristan, what a name. He's 3 under in second place, also yet to tee off. But right now, Scotty Scheffler's playing. Colin Morikawa's playing. He's even. Scheffler is still over at the moment. 2 over.
All right. Brad Holmes had some comments to say about none other. This is me dragging it on for dramatic purposes. Ben Johnson. Brad Holmes commented on Ben Johnson. Kind of feels like he might still hold a grudge. Do you? Yes, we are doing that. And then at the 10 o'clock hour to lead things off, we are going to do fake Detroit Lions headlines. I am very excited about that segment. Stay tuned. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on a Friday, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. That's a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at michiganbaseballfoundation.org.
Another episode takes over Dow Diamond. Star Wars Night with the Great Lakes Loons returns Saturday, June 14th. Immerse yourself in the echoes of the Empire saga throughout the game, culminating with an epic fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone.
Thank the maker.
This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Celebrate Father's Day at Dow Diamond Sunday, June 15th. It starts with the Play Ball Weekend Kids Clinic presented by Central Michigan University. Make sure they're pre-registered at loons.com. After the game, step on the field for a special Father's Day catch, a memory that will last a lifetime. There's something for the whole family this Father's Day. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in, Ben Bosscher Show. First of all, whoever designed this course, and I just looked it up, his name is Henry C. Founds. Whoever designed this course that the U.S. Open is being played at is satanic. This is nuts how difficult this course is. I would never, ever want to play here. This sounds like hell on earth. It would take me a half hour to get through any hole if I don't lose my ball already. It is bananas how difficult this course is. Okay, with that being said, it sounds like Brad Holmes is going to hold a little bit of a grudge on Ben Johnson. He made some comments on Ben Johnson's decision to go to Chicago, of all places.
Like, I knew he had interviewed for Chicago. I really didn't know which way it was going to go. I was thinking Chicago would have probably been the last destination, but or I was probably hoping that, probably. But no, I really didn't know that was happening till it actually, till he accepted the job. But yeah, it's just a little like, man, why Chicago?
You know what? Now that it's been 5 months, 6 months since Ben Johnson has taken that job, I actually have no hard feelings going into the season. Yes, it's going to be fun when he comes back. Yes, it's going to be fun when you go to Chicago to take him on. There's going to be that built-in storyline, and I'm excited to talk about that. However, I don't have any hard feelings towards the guy. I look at the situation now that my emotions are kind of taken out of it. Chicago's probably the best opportunity to take. Now, tough division, dealing with the Vikings, Packers, and Lions every single year, of course. But you got the quarterback who had the worst year you could have possibly imagined for a number one overall. I guess not the worst year. Bryce Young year still exists. But total letdown compared to what the thought process was. It was going to be like. But then you read all these stories that come out after the season ends. It's like, golly, this guy was put in the worst situation possible. You look at the foundation, you look at the weapons that they have, a strong, I don't know about a strong franchise, but a big city, big support system behind you. This was the right job to take, I think. And for that reason, I guess I don't have any hard feelings for Ben Johnson going into the year, which I didn't think I'd be saying 6 months from then.
I'm kind of surprised you're taking this route, honestly.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Like, no one expected him to be back for... He could have been gone the year prior, remember? He had all those job opportunities. Sounds like the Carolina job was basically his until he pulled his name out of the hat. I think giving us that extra season, giving the Lions that extra season, was a huge thumbs up, and takes a job in Chicago. No hard feelings, man. That was probably the best opportunity to take for him. So
yeah,
I don't share the same thoughts that Brad Holmes has. Why Chicago? Because it was the best situation, and I think we can put the conversation to bed now. It is what it is. We don't need to harp on it much longer. I just wanted to bring it up because Brad Holmes brought it up, and we don't need to spend any more than a couple minutes on it. But that was my thought process going into that. I've officially made peace with Ben Johnson leaving.
I just think it would have been easier to root for him if he went elsewhere, because I wanted to root for him wherever he ended up at. And then he goes to Chicago, and it's like, okay, well, now my fandom of Ben Johnson has ended. Nothing wrong with that. But
correct, because
I will no longer be rooting for him.
Because you're going to root for the Jets a little bit, or at least Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I would root for things to go better there.
Yeah, you don't want...
I'm not like a Jets fan, but...
You're not rooting for Aaron Glenn to fail, I guess.
Exactly. I am rooting for Ben Johnson to fail.
Yeah, we are kind of rooting for Ben Johnson to fail a little bit. And that's not even like but it's not a personal thing. It's more so of course you want the teams.
You went to the Bears. Yeah, you made that choice, so the Lions fans now will be against you.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. But I don't think, for me at least, it's personal anymore. And I don't think it's personal for anybody on the Lions either. Now, they're probably going to convince themselves of it because that's what psycho athletes and psycho competitors do the week of. But there's no way like Amon-Ra and Gibbs and all these guys have like bad feelings towards Ben Johnson. You know what I mean? I'm sure they all still like the guy. I don't think... Of course. They probably don't talk on a daily basis anymore because, he's the ops now. But it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I've made peace with it. Well, some of those feelings come back week 2, and the other, I forget what other week they play the Bears. Yeah, I'm sure.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Yeah, right. It doesn't matter if you coached here before or have never been in this building before. That's what the Lions are going to do to you. So yeah, they'll take care of business. I'm not too worried about that. But I think for me, I can put that narrative to bed. Looking at the chat, Ian says, I don't have any hard feelings, but also the Boo Birds are going to be pretty loud for him. Oh, yeah. He's going to get a big booing when he comes to Detroit. How much of him staying another year was because of loyalty versus just not being an opportunity that was enticing enough for him? I think it plays a little bit of both. If you didn't love being in Detroit, you would have found a way to left. And because Dan Campbell has created such a good culture, not only for the players to start thriving, but his assistant coaches as well, it's an easy reason to come back. But he could have had that Carolina job if he wanted to, right? Maybe it wasn't enticing to him, but it was certainly there. And then I think this Bears job was better all around. Okay, 989-837-6125. The Lions are not doing a rookie minicamp this year because their training camp starts a little bit early with that Hall of Fame game. They've got the extra preseason game. So with that being said, I'm starting to get a little bit jealous because all these teams have stories coming out about their mini camps because everyone's there or they're holding out. And so what I did was take it upon myself to write my own Lions mini camp headlines. That's how we're going to lead the 10 o'clock hour. So stick with us, man. It is the Ben Bosscher Show. Still got a lot to cover on this fabulous Friday. Hope everyone's having a good time. Still got Sarah Stockford coming on to give her wild take of the day, too. All right, keep listening. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Greenland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesapeake, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Hour number 2 on this Friday in the Great Lakes Bay region. What's up to everybody listening? Thanks for listening on YouTube as well if you're watching on that end. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We'd appreciate it so much. Go ahead and give us a like on the video as well. Really helps us grow in the early stages of things. So, that being said, the Detroit Lions are not having a mandatory minicamp. Their training camp starts a little bit early because of, their season's starting a little bit early because they've got the extra Hall of Fame game added to their preseason load. Which means they're playing football on July 31st, which is kind of insane to me, but you know what? You get the schedule, you roll with it. So I'm not going to lie, Kyle. I'm getting a little bit jealous that all these teams are getting stories written about them. I'm surfing NFL.com, surfing The Athletic, just reading all these stories about how teams' mini camps are going. And, this isn't even training camp, right? There's no pads on, but it's still so entertaining because NFL is king, man. It's the league of all leagues. It's every team fascinates me for a different reason. going into every single season. And the older I get, the more interested I get in each of these storylines going into the season. I've got an Around the League coming up, highlighting some of that stuff. But, I mean, I'm just jealous that all these teams have stories coming out and people are learning about their teams. Meanwhile, the Lions are sitting back and just got to wait for training camp to start.
It would also just give us something to talk about, right? Because just things that are going on in sports right now. It's the Tigers, and no, that's really it. So we're all excited for football season. Everyone loves the Lions. That is everyone's team in Detroit. And as much content as we can get about the Lions is good. That's the best thing. That's what people want the most. So I'm with you. I'm jealous. Even if it was the stupid headlines that are obviously, clickbaity, it's just something still.
I saw one that was, I told John this last night, because he's a big Giants fan, being from New York, Midland's finest New Yorker. And I saw one that said, Jackson Dart has exquisite accuracy in camp. I was like, oh,
exquisite.
He's a hit, not a bust. Hashtag not a bust.
Officially not a bust.
Yeah, we found that out very early on in the off season for Jackson Dart. So here's what we did. I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different fake headlines for the Lions. And I don't really. Do you want to grade these? Do you want to say how excited you are for them, or you just wanted me to read them? Or I guess we didn't really come up with a plan. I was just like, I'm just going to come up with fake headlines that I want to hear. All right. So here's the first one. Jamison Williams dominates Lions defense with no St. Brown. St. Brown had the knee procedure. They said he should be fine by the time training camp starts. If not, he'll miss a little bit of time. So even if St. Brown, even if they were having minicamp, St. Brown wouldn't be participating right now, which means Jamison Williams would be the wide receiver one. And whether it's Dan Campbell or Scotty Montgomery, the new wide receivers coach, formerly the running backs coach, or it was, wow, Scheffler just hit an insane putt, by the way. Or, actually, that's not Scheffler. Never mind. That's
It was Rory. Hovland, yeah. Scheffler actually 3-putted.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
Terrible.
Whether it's Dan Campbell or whether it's Scotty Montgomery, I just said that, or it's John Morton, everyone has been gassing up Jamison Williams. Everyone has been saying he's figured it out. Something clicked this offseason. We want to make him an integral part of this offense. He's going to be have another season with 1,000 yards. We want to make him a primary part of this offense. He's still got a ton of room to grow. It sounds like they all are all super excited about him. And it gets back to, hey, they took this guy 12th overall because they saw something really special in him, right? As much as we all love St. Brown, and we are well aware he's the wide receiver one and always will be, he's a 4th-round pick, right? They saw something in J-Mo for them to trade up to get him because they said, at 12, this is ridiculous value. This is a guy who would have been picked in the top 5 if it wasn't for that ACL injury in the national championship game. And I think they're finally starting to see the path for that to happen. So if St. Brown is out for the time being, and we had minicamp, and again, there's no pad, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, but Jamison Williams dominates Lions defense with St. Brown absent. That is my first headline. And I think we'd really be getting headlines like that from the beat reporters if the Lions were to have a minicamp right now. I really do.
I think this is probably the best one that you're going to come up with. I know this is the first one.
Hey, I've got 7 more.
But headlines-wise, you can't get enough of J-Mo headlines, right? People eat that up. Positive, negative, on the field, off the field, whatever it is, if it's got Jamison Williams in the title, people are clicking that, and people are reading that, and it's just good. And this is a positive one for J-Mo as well, obviously. A lot of people are thinking he's going to have a breakout year this season, that he's been a popular pick to be a major breakout guy, especially with the contract situation. So I like this one a lot. I think this is a 9 out of 10 fake headline.
I'm even starting to see some Jamison Williams contract extension stuff from the beat reporters. I was like, whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's let the season play out first.
That's too fake.
Yeah, that's too fake. The no headlines or the no minicamp is making the writers go crazy. Like, we have to write something. What if we just gave everybody an extension? Okay. All right, the next one I have. And by the way, I didn't mention this too. I want your guys' headlines as well. So 989-837-6125. Again, the YouTube chat is active as well. I want your headlines to see what you guys can come up with. Be as creative as humanly possible. The next one I have is Aiden Hutchinson back to full form with new perspective on leadership. We saw all the stuff he was doing in the offseason, or honestly during the season while he was rehabbing at these hospitals. He was making a big priority to make an impact on local children's hospitals and stuff too. And being off the field, every football player has made this clear. Like, it's one of the more difficult things to deal with, to be away from the team, especially a team that's had the success that the Lions have had. And I think him returning to full form, he comes back with a new perspective on leadership. He was the 2nd overall draft pick, the highest selection on this team. I think once Aiden Hutchinson returns, which is now, he's 100% participant, would be right now in everything, at least that's the assumption, is he comes back and is the leader on this team. It is his team. He comes back, isn't like demanding the respect, but is one of those guys that's like, yeah, he's the captain. Right? We all know he is the captain of this team. He's the guy everyone looks towards. He sets the tone. When things aren't going well for the defense, he makes sure everybody knows it. He gets in his guys, makes sure they're on top of things. Aiden Hutchinson comes back as the alpha on this team.
This is probably the story that Lions fans want to hear the most, and a Hutchinson update, just because we haven't seen him in so long and how good he was. I'll give this one like a 7.
Okay.
It's interesting. I mean, the Lions fans want this one the most, but like, how big of a story is it?
I don't know.
We should expect this.
You should expect that.
So a 6 or 7 out of 10.
What was the first one? A 10?
9.
9? I'll take
no
that.
Headline is a 10,
How about this one?
Other than like
this one might be a 10 if I really see it. John Morton plans to utilize Gibbs' talent in unique new ways that the NFL is not prepared for. I'll just leave it at that. Go ahead and grade that.
See, in theory, it's good, but like, we also heard this in Gibbs' rookie year where it's like, Jahmyr Gibbs will be played out of the slot this season, and they'll do lineups with him and Montgomery.
Did
and then
we
it
hear
just
that?
literally never happened once.
Did we hear that, or did
there
beat
was
writers
headlines about it?
Or did beat writers just continue asking about it, and the Lions were like, yeah, we'll do it a little bit, I guess. And then they just didn't do it.
There were stories written about it.
That's true.
Which is what you're creating.
Yeah, you're right. But Morton has openly talked about, like, someone asked him a couple weeks ago, who are the focal points of the offense? And he said, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta. No mention of Montgomery, and only no mention of St. Brown because he was hurt.
Is that a shock? Of course Gibbs is going to be one of the 3 names mentioned.
But it's weird he didn't mention Montgomery. And last year it was mostly 50-50 splits until Montgomery got hurt.
Right.
I think this year it's going to be a little bit more 65-35, maybe creeping up to 70-30. And I'm always going to be in favor of limiting the overwork for Gibbs to keep them both healthy the long term. That way they're not only healthy, but stamina for the end of the season. It's a long season in the NFL. I want to make sure both those guys are utilized and at their best at the end of the season. So I don't want David Montgomery to just take a back seat. They're still the duo of Sonic and Gibbs. But with that being said, Gibbs is one of the 3 to 4 best talented backs in the league. And I think it's time that he's moved on from the 50-50 role, and I hope Johnny Morton has seen that as well. Because I do think Gibbs is going to get the ball a little bit more than Montgomery this year. Not a lot more, maybe a little bit more than a little more, but a medium amount more, if that makes sense.
I could see that.
Maybe like a 68.5 to 31.5 split.
I'm just interested to see if he handles it how Ben Johnson did as far as the, like, hey, this is your drive, and then this is your drive.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be mixed in more frequently? We saw that a little bit at the end of last season, but for the most part, it was like Montgomery starts the game, Gibb gets drive 2, and then they just alternate.
Next one. Tate Ratledge grasping new role quickly. Frank Ragnow retired, but far from absent. Frank Ragnow, good guy, good Samaritan. Sticking around, he's not there every day, but he's had a wise impact on Tate Ratledge. He's helping him put those shoes on that are going to be difficult to fill. And Tate Ratledge, who's never played center in his life, was a guard for 4 years at Georgia, is starting to understand the offense a lot quicker than maybe people realized because of Frank Ragnow's help. Nothing crazy, not an insane story, not something that's going to, make national waves, but something that would just hit the Lions fans' hearts a little bit, tug on the heartstrings a little bit.
Right. This is creative. I like the title of this, but far from gone or whatever you said with Ragnow.
Far from absent.
Yeah, I like that. This is a good story. I think this would be very encouraging for Lions fans. A lot of people are investing a lot of stock into Tate Ratledge, and it's hard to replace an all-pro center in Frank Ragnow, so it'd be nice if he stuck around for it. I like this one. I give it a 7.5.
Ennis Rakestraw.
Gibbs one was a 5.
Ennis Rakestraw making run for starting outside cornerback role. Remember earlier this week when we said what Lions not being talked about enough? Maybe Ennis Rakestraw was the right answer, because Ennis Rakestraw, second-round pick last year, is in a unique situation where Amik Robertson has that nickel role locked up. And they've been open about this offseason. They're going to let him get some run at the outside corner. But in order to take a real role as an outside corner, he'd have to dethrone Terrion Arnold, the first-round pick, or DJ Reed, veteran in this league. But if we're getting headlines that he's making a run for the starting outside cornerback role, that's only a good thing, right? More competition. It means that I don't think it means that Terrion Arnold is struggling. It means that Ennis Rakestraw has taken a huge step up, and now they have 3 legitimate options on the outside. It would lead to some drama, but I think that's a good problem to have if Ennis Rakestraw truly did step up. Because right now it's just kind of awkward. Second-round pick, there's not really room for you to play right now. And this speaks to the talent that the Lions have in the secondary and across the team. But that's one name that's like not really a role for him right now unless we get headlines
to me,
like this.
I lean towards that this means Terrion Arnold is struggling.
Well, you're a half glass empty kind of guy, I guess.
But why would, if Arnold is doing good, why would he ever lose his job? Rakestraw's doing that tremendous in training camp? Like,
you gotta remember, Rakestraw was hurt for most of last season. Hamstring stuff,
so
calf
he needs to
injuries.
get back into things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this would be a dramatic headline.
As dramatic as Hendon.
I see your point.
Hendon Hooker leading Lions second unit to touchdown versus first team defense. Hendon Hooker buzz ramping back up. Some team willing to trade for him
later in the show.
We will. That's awesome. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's fantastic. Ali McNeil expected to return before Thanksgiving. Not really much to say on that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's the only answer to that. And then, of course, there's no way I was getting through this without doing one of these. Marcus Davenport, bigger, faster, and stronger than ever before. He's in the best shape of his life. Marcus Davenport, he's in the best shape of his life. This is the time of year for those. Or training camp is the time of year for those.
I was wondering who the best shape of his life guy was going to be.
Marcus Davenport.
Okay.
Looking to stay healthy this year. Who is it that you mentioned earlier? Oh, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, yeah. He plans on being healthy this year. Okay.
Oh, why didn't he think of that a few years ago?
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea, T. Higgins. That's a great idea. 989-837-6125. We'll get to some of your fake Lions headlines next. 989-837-6125. We get the YouTube chat going as well. Drop the fake headlines in there. We'll get to those next here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
There are many ways to say Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. You could say it with your show choir buddies at your high school reunion.
Miller Lite is more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Only 1 more calorie.
However you say it, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer per 12 fluid ounces. Miller Lite, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Taste test performed by Institute for Perception, February 2018.
Another episode takes over Dow Diamond. Star Wars Night with the Great Lakes Lounge returns Saturday, June 14th. Immerse yourself in the echoes of the Empire saga throughout the game, culminating with an epic fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone.
Thank the maker.
This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons. everyone's hometown team. Celebrate Father's Day at Dow Diamond Sunday, June 15th. It starts with the Play Ball Weekend Kids Clinic presented by Central Michigan University. Make sure they're pre-registered at loons.com. After the game, step on the field for a special Father's Day catch, a memory that will last a lifetime. There's something for the whole family this Father's Day. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we'll get to some of the comments here for our fake Detroit Lions minicamp headlines because they're not doing minicamp. We've got some good ones here. We've got one in the chat that says, "Can you believe that Hendon Hooker looks this good at camp?" I like my Hendon Hooker one a little bit more. More specific, you know?
Yeah.
We've got Ian in the chat saying, Tesla looks like the nastiest white guy receiver since 2021 Cooper Kupp. That's good. That's good stuff. All right, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, Ben, so this is kind of inspired by
Kyle.
What you were just talking about, and that's training camp headlines, you know, what's going on at minicamp and everything. So what we're going to discuss is I'm going to give you teams, and you're going to rank, you know, how dramatic their minicamp has been from a headline standpoint.
Okay. 1 to 10.
Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
1 to 10. All right, we'll run through a good amount of teams here. The Bengals. Let's start off with Cincinnati, huh? A lot of stuff going on there.
All right, if we're working under the assumption that one team has to be a 10, I think it has to be the Bengals. They're
yeah, how could it not?
Arguably, okay, maybe not arguably. The runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year is gone, right? He's not coming back. Dramatic walkout, never to be seen in a Bengals uniform. Hatred towards this team, it feels like, in Trey Hendrickson. Not only that, your first-round rookie won't sign. Not only will he not sign, he left minicamp a day early, just walked on out. It feels like the team is upset with him for not signing. His coaches and players are taking note of it. But meanwhile, you look around and Shamar Stewart's like, you didn't do this clause with your rookie last year, the year before that. Why are you starting it with me? And I'm totally with him on this. And if it was the exact same situation on a different team, I think I'd be a little bit more open towards hearing the team side of it. But because it's the Bengals, notoriously cheap ownership, this is the 10 in this group, and I'm never gonna align with the Bengals when it comes to this because routinely over and over again they don't want to pay their guys.
This might be the 11 of the group.
Yeah,
you know, like this blows it out of the water. They are for sure the most. This is one of the most dramatic, like mini camps even we've had in some time.
Correct. I have no idea whether Shamar Stewart might not play this year. The Bengals have the rights for him, and he has not signed.
It's pretty crazy.
We'll see if they can get him back for camp.
We have different reports on it as far as who's right, who's wrong. Like Schefter is saying the Bengals are crazy. Rappaport is saying Shamar Stewart's crazy. It's all over the place.
But there's one common denominator. The Bengals can't get people under contract.
Yeah, specifically their defensive linemen.
They're the 10.
All right, let's move on to the San Francisco 49ers and their minicamp headlines.
So last year, San Fran was the 10. 1,000%. They had the whole Brock Purdy, is he getting an extension thing? Trent Williams was holding out. They had Bosa was holding out. They had the whole Ayuk and Debo situation where it was like one of these guys probably getting traded. Ayuk requested a trade. They had CMC with tendonitis in his Achilles. But this year it's been pretty quiet over there. It's like a reboot year. Purdy got his extension. I have this as a 3. Now, there's always looming issues with San Fran because, like, can they rebuild? Like, this team had 6 wins last year. A lot of turnover, a lot of moving pieces, new parts. Robert Saleh's back in the picture. But nothing like actually, no drama has actually come out of minicamp. It's just a lot of question marks around this team. So I went pretty low number, a 3.
Okay, that's valid. Shout out to San Fran for being less dramatic this year. Typically a very dramatic organization. Let's move on back to the AFC North. Cleveland Browns and who is starting at quarterback drama.
Yeah, this has got to be a 9, right? And they're not having the crazy drama that the Bengals are having in terms of who's playing and who's not. But we have Colin Cowherd, America's smartest takes, doing completion percentage takes based on minicamp. He's running through completion percentages based on all of these quarterbacks' minicamp.
That's psychotic behavior.
That's nuts. That's how, I mean, it's drama-filled, for sure, with Shador, Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Gabriel, and then you have videos of Deshaun Watson in Miami just going absolutely nuts celebrating his birthday. It's like, dude, have some self-awareness. You're also an adult. You don't need to be in strip clubs with birthday candles and champagne going nuts for your birthday anymore. You're like, what's he got to be like 30 now, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets it, man. I don't think he's ever playing again. He shouldn't play
speaking
again.
of celebrating in Miami with strippers, let's move on to the Patriots.
I can't. Where is this going? Oh, I see. The Patriots?
Yeah.
It's really just the Stephon Diggs situation, right? There's nothing else going on. Seems like that got put to bed. Like, it was a storyline heading into minicamp. He addressed it. He's like, I can't talk about that. And then Mike Vrabel's like, yeah, we're trying to limit the distractions. I don't know, like a 7?
7? Yeah.
They put it to bed.
It's a bit higher than I would expect.
I mean, that was a pretty big thing going into camp.
Yeah, it was. You're right. But now that he's back there, yeah, you're right. It's probably over. Okay. The team that has probably been talked about the most, at least over the last week, it's them or the Bengals. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm going with an 8 here, and shockingly, it has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers and everything to do with TJ Watt. Now, it seems like him and Tomlin are confident he's going to get this deal done at some point, and I think it will happen at some point, but when the best player in your team is not showing up because of a contract holdout, I mean, you got to be like an 8 or 9, and I went with an 8. Shockingly, not because of Rodgers really at all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Rodgers stuff has been
quiet,
way smoother than expected.
I did see a headline that was like, Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf hitting the off-season workouts harder than ever before. Yeah, locked in for the season.
Awesome, man.
It's like
We've heard that story 1,000 times.
I like those stories because it's like compared to what, like not caring.
They aren't locked in.
Yeah. This year they're locked in.
All right, let's talk about your boy, Travis Hunter and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Too much dancing going on in Jacksonville training camp? What's the drama level?
I have a 5. Travis Hunter also hasn't signed, but that seems less dramatic because he's at the camps. There's no hesitate. Like, he's going to sign eventually. And the money's not really up for debate what he's getting. It's when he's getting it. And, I think Travis Hunter has the right to negotiate with him playing both sides of the ball. He's finally splitting, like, days, splitting half with the defense, half with the offense. I think the thing is there's just more attention on Jacksonville now than there has been ever at this time of the year. I went with a 5. I mean, Travis Hunter hasn't signed, but I don't think it's that much of a big deal right now.
Yeah. We'll see, obviously, if it continues. It sounds like he's going to get signed relatively soon.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Washington Commanders.
Laramie Tunsil late to show up. Deebo Samuel looks a little bigger than normal. I'll go with a 4. Nothing crazy, but
yeah,
that Deebo video was alarming. I still to this day can't believe they gave up draft capital to bring Deebo in. Deebo Samuel,
especially after the year he had last year.
He's a fullback playing wide receiver now.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it local. NFC North, obviously not Detroit. But let's go to the Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, man, all this weird speculation. Is he going to be the QB?
No one seems... There's no consensus on whether or not Minnesota wanted him or didn't want him. This is like a highly debated thing amongst NFL guys right now. It's like, hey, the Vikings tried to re-sign Sam Darnold and we're interested in bringing in Rodgers. They don't trust J.J. McCarthy. Or it's, well, they thought about bringing back Darnold, but they ultimately decided it wasn't worth the money. They wanted J.J. McCarthy to take this spot, and they dance around with Rodgers, but J.J. McCarthy's their guy. They picked him 10th overall. It's like, I just don't understand the consensus on it. But I said 6. It's not a lot.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot going on. It seems more media-driven than
that's true.
Internal.
I did see one headline that was like, Dallas Turner, he's dominating. He's dominating. It's like, there's no pads on. How can their former first-round pick be dominating on the defensive line? He's dominating, Kyle.
All right, how many more of these you want to do? One more?
Yeah, 1 or 2 more.
Let's talk about John's New York Giants.
7, I said.
Ooh.
Jackson Dart, exquisite throws, remember? Saw that headline, saw there's a good cornerback battle. But this is one of the few teams with like a true quarterback battle going on between Dart and Winston and Russell Wilson. I think it is, yeah.
I think Russ for sure gets the job, right?
Probably. He's probably minus 190 favorite. Jackson Dart plus 200. Jameis Winston plus 450.
I would flip it. I would go Jackson Dart plus 600. Winston plus 210.
You think they roll out Winston for week 1?
I think over Dart, yeah.
Oh, no, not if his throws are this exquisite.
That's a good point.
I
forgot about the exquisiteness.
Yeah, in minicamp with no pads on. It's been exquisite.
You got any other ones that you're really dying to throw out there?
I just wanted to bring up the Packers because I haven't heard one thing about them. So I put a 1.
Good point.
It's like I haven't heard one thing about what's happening at Packers minicamp.
We've heard more about the Lions, and they don't even have a minicamp.
I think that's a good thing, though, if you're a Packers fan. Like, hey, we're staying under the radar. Not a lot of drama going on. We've got all these...
You would love to hear maybe like, wow, Matt Golden looks like he might actually be good, you know? That would be encouraging.
Like, no, Matthew Golden actually blends in with all these other B- receivers. That would be
is generous.
If we were doing Packers headlines, that would be mine. Matthew Golden doesn't stick out amongst the most mid group of wide receivers in the NFL. All right, so the NBA Finals and NHL Finals are both currently going on, and I think they've both been fantastic. Which one have you enjoyed more? That is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show. First Class Epoxy, now in Midland, turns boring concrete into smooth, shiny, and durable floors. Perfect for garages, workshops, basements, anywhere you want a floor that looks great and lasts. Their epoxy is tough enough for heavy traffic and your wild dance moves. Kyle, we're going to see some dance moves from you at the wedding you're going to this weekend?
Yeah, for real. Like Travis Hunter out there.
Has he been dancing? I don't know why. Wait, hold on. I have to finish this. Professional prep, flawless finish, done on time, and built to last. Say goodbye to stains, cracks, and dull gray floors. Say hello to slick showroom shine. First Class Epoxy. Call now or visit firstclassepoxynow.com. First Class Epoxy Now, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed. Why do you keep bringing up this guy dancing?
You didn't see that clip of him dancing, and then the other wide receivers were like, they're like, dude, pay attention. Like, stop dancing. They like got annoyed.
No, wait, hold on. This is because I usually am pretty plugged into Travis Hunter Twitter.
He was like dancing in the huddle, and then someone like, whacked him. It was like, bro.
Yeah, this isn't Colorado anymore. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
seeing him run crazy routes. Okay. I'll give up on that for now. All right, so like I said, when we come back, which finals are you enjoying more? They've both been amazing, if you ask me. That's next here, Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt. Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit MidlandFoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at MidlandFoundation.org.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
Another episode takes over Dow Diamond. Star Wars Night with the Great Lakes Lounge returns Saturday, June 14th. Immerse yourself in the echoes of the Empire saga throughout the game, culminating with an epic fireworks Loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone.
Thank the maker.
This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loons staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show right here on The Mitt. Thank you for tuning in if you're on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing if you've done that already. If you haven't, well, what are you waiting on? So, Kyle, we've had some spectacular finals games in both the NHL and the NBA. We're 4 games in the NHL world, and we've gone into overtime 3 of the 4 games. This has been spectacular. The NHL side of things, I mean, we've played an entire extra game plus an extra period because of all these overtimes. Draisaitl continues to score in the overtimes. Connor McDavid continues to let us down, still has not scored. We've done it as our lock of the day 4 times, which means those 4 times we've all lost. So they've been incredible finals. We've had goalie conundrums. They pulled their goalie last night, Skinner. The Oilers did. They immediately bounce back and score 4 straight goals. Ends up going into, like, just great stuff all around on the NHL side of things. Super physical series. Team feels like the teams are dead set even though Game 3 kind of a blowout, and then Game 4 started out with a 3-0 lead. And I was like, maybe the Panthers are a little bit too much for this Oilers team, despite the star power here. And then the Oilers climb right back into it, rally behind the goalie switch, go into overtime again, and then somehow finds the back of the net again. Leon Draisaitl does. The Stanley Cup Finals have been a 10 out of 10. The NBA Finals have played one less game. We'll get Game 4 tonight, but I don't know about quite a 10 out of 10 yet. I mean, we did get the game winner in Game 1. We had a little bit of a blowout in Game 2. That was somewhat expected. And then you have the Pacers just continuing to, shock everyone. And at this point, it can't be shocking if they win the finals because they have a 2-1 lead. So if you're making the case for the NHL being the better final so far, it's all these games have been close. Look at all these overtimes. If you're making the case for the NBA, it's no one gave the Pacers a chance to win this thing. The Thunder were minus 700 favorites going into this series. And suddenly the Pacers have a chance to take a 3-1 lead and basically lock up. I don't know about lock up. We've seen a 3-1 comeback once before in the finals, but got a chance to take a 3-1 series. That's the more unbelievable aspect of it. The games themselves have been awesome too, other than Game 2. So 2 of the 3 games have been right down to the wire. Tyrese Halliburton's kind of become a budding star. The thing that the NBA lacks is the star power, right? Connor McDavid's, probably the best athlete in the world without a ring right now. That's not really the case in the NBA Finals. You've got 2 smaller markets. You've got the MVP in the NBA Finals, but that doesn't seem to be moving the needle for anybody. But Tyrese Halliburton, if you like basketball, I think you've enjoyed the finals. I don't care what the ratings say. I really don't. This has been spectacular to watch for me. 2 new teams, 2 new brands, new styles of basketball that are kind of against the grain as to what everyone thinks the NBA is, of just shoot as many threes as possible. These 2 teams aren't really built on that, and I think that part of it has been super fun to watch. Tyrese Halliburton has quickly become one of my favorite players to watch, not just because of the buzzer beaters, but just his style of play of getting everyone involved, moving the ball around as much as possible. He's not looking to score 30 points every single game, but instead just looking to get his team the best shots. I think that's the most fun type of guy to play with, and I've enjoyed watching it as someone who grew up and still loves playing basketball. So I have a hard time picking one. I guess if I had to choose gun in my head, I've enjoyed watching the NBA Finals more, but I think the NHL Finals has a slight edge right now, and maybe that's just because they've played 1 extra game. But it's neck and neck in terms of, because we do this every year. Oh, who's had a better Finals? And every single year, the NBA ratings are down. It's like, oh, the NBA Finals suck. It's just people who don't watch basketball who say that. The people who actually watch basketball, the people who just enjoyed a game on, I think it's hard to pick one here. I guess, gun to my head, I'd have to pick NHL Finals, but incredible series on both ends. We're kind of spoiled right now.
Yeah, I mean, this has been, like you said, the ratings thing. Who cares about the ratings in the NBA? As far as the product on the court, yeah, the basketball series has been really good. And it's the surprising aspect that you mentioned that has made it so good that it seemed like OKC was probably going to come in and sweep. We talked about it. Even after they lost Game 1, after Game 2, you're like, okay, Thunder in 5. Now, I'm still confident the Thunder win. But as far as what's better, you and I are both basketball guys, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't think it's a question what finals is better. The Stanley Cup Finals, I mean, this is like one of the best Stanley Cup Finals, in a long time. 3 overtimes, 4 total overtimes.
Yeah.
Through 4 games, tied up at 2 apiece. It's got the storyline to it with the rematch from last year. The best player in the sport is playing, looking for his first ring. Like, the Stanley Cup Finals is the answer here. This is a legendary Stanley Cup Finals.
But it's not a diss on the NBA at all.
No, it's not. It's not. You're right.
You'd think it would be saying that because most of the time it's like NHL fans and NBA fans just can't get along. It's like, no, my league's better than yours. No, look at what we're doing. Look at our ratings. I don't know. It's the same thing as the Big Ten SEC argument. It's like, why does it have to be one pinned against the other? Like, I guess I just don't. I've never understood that. Why can't we just enjoy both?
Because the NHL fans don't like the NBA, and the NBA fans really don't like the NHL.
I feel like the NBA fans just don't care about the NHL, and then the hockey fans get upset about that. They're like, no, look at our sport. It's so awesome.
That's a good point.
I think both have been fantastic, and I cannot wait for Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. Who you got? Because
Thunder, for sure.
For sure?
For sure. The Thunder
I don't
bounced
know,
back
man.
from a loss better than any team I've ever seen.
The Thunder looked devastated in a way that I've never seen the Thunder this season at the end of that game, of game 3. They lost their mojo.
They actually got outplayed for an entirety of a game.
And you saw them in the huddle. It was like they looked defeated. Usually they're the team playing with the big smile on their face. They're the team that's looking up at the scoreboard, skipping up and down the court, just like pissing off the other team. It's been the Pacers this entire playoff run. They've been the team that's been doing that. And now that they're up 2-1, I mean, they think they can win the finals.
Thunder for sure tonight.
Wow.
Alt spread Thunder as well.
Wow. Like, how far are you taking this thing?
Like probably 8 or 9.
Okay. I'm intrigued to see where
What
this
about
thing
game
goes.
5 for, like, obviously the Panthers have looked like the better team, but that comeback last night was, maybe that could spark the rest of the series for Edmonton.
I don't know if I can give my hockey predictions. I've
Well,
just
yeah,
enjoyed.
but I mean,
I've just enjoyed the series, and
Just throwing out who you think's going to win,
McDavid. I'm just gonna keep rocking with McDavid. We're down 4
Really
units
worked out.
because he hasn't scored a goal yet.
Really worked out.
There's always game 5.
Hey, what if I would have told
There's
you coming
always
in
game
that
5.
Jake Wallman would have twice as many goals in the Stanley Cup Finals than Connor McDavid?
I'd be upset. I'd be very upset. 989-837-6125. Look, here's what we've got coming up. We've got our Friday morning Smackdown, new segment. Maybe we can revisit that UFC conversation about Detroit sports athletes, which one of them would win each weight class. Sarah's coming back. She gave us just the take of the week last week. It was incredible. That's at 11:30, and then we'll close the show with, the two traditions we close the show with every time. It is our lock of the day, and it is what Colin Cowherd is going to open with. A lot of good guesses on the line. Oh, plus there's a certain type of person at the gym that's really been bothering me lately. Go through that too. Stick with us. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. Well, to no one's surprise, Tarek Skubal dominated on the bump once again last night for the Tigers, going 7 scoreless. His last 4 starts, 30 and a 2/3 inning pitch, just 1 earned run, a .29 ERA, with 32 strikeouts and just 2 walks allowed. And every time you see Skubal take the mound, Tigers fans more and more want him to sign that extension to stay in Detroit. But to me, I think every time Tarek Skubal takes the mound and continues to look like the back-to-back Cy Young in the American League, his price tag rises. He's going to be the highest paid pitcher in Major League Baseball one way or another, whether it comes via extension through the Tigers or in a year and a half when he hits the open market. I think the Tigers have passed the time where they can extend Tarek Skubal, because why would he sign the extension now when he knows these other teams that have shown to pay top dollar to other free agents in the past will pay more than expected once he hits the open market? So the real question is, if Tarek Skubal is going to hit the open market in a year and a half, that essentially means the World Series window is now for Detroit, because you don't trust that they're going to match any offer that these other big-time market teams are going to offer him in free agency after the 2026 season. I'm just enjoying these Tarek Skubal starts while we have him, because this World Series window for the Tigers is now before Tarek Skubal becomes a free agent in a year and a half. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. If you That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am, what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your retirement savings last? How much should you take out and when? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Kevin Spencer. Let's work together to make sure your finances meet your unique needs over the long haul. You've done what it takes to get there. Now it's time to make the most of retirement.
Celebrate Father's Day at Dow Diamond Sunday, June 15th. It starts with the Play Ball Weekend Kids Clinic presented by Central Michigan University. Make sure they're pre-registered at loons.com. After the game, step on the field for a special Father's Day catch, a memory that will last a lifetime. There's something for the whole family this Father's Day. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Greenland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. We got a new segment. We'll do it, half of it right now and half of it in the 11 o'clock hour. It is called Friday Morning Smackdown. So here's the idea behind it. To do this job, you got to have thick skin. And the only way to do that is to make fun. Like, we post the reels, follow us. And, you know, I try not to look at it very much because there's no benefit of it. Right? That's kind of just like social media. Like, what's the benefit of it? I guess there's some in staying informed and stuff, you know, get your news via Twitter. But, you know, looking at the stuff that people comment about you, it can only ruin your day unless you throw it back in those people's face. So Kyle took a screenshot of, or wrote down, I don't know what you did, of some of the best comments we got across TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook this week. And we wanted to just go through it and see, put you in our shoes, what people like us deal with.
Right, of course.
Hey, I just want to say this too. I love my job. I wouldn't give it up for anything. And this is our way of making this a little lighthearted. So, Kyle, take it away.
I decided to keep this centric to you and not include the comments that Sarah received.
Oh, we'll get to those.
To protect Sarah.
We'll get to those when Sarah comes on. She was shocked. Yeah, exactly. She was floored at some of the comments she got.
That's why I figured that we would save that for that segment. Okay, so obviously you had a pretty popular video this week with Paul Skeen. So a lot of these revolve around that. But this is through all Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Wait,
here's our first one.
Can I say something about the Paul Skeen trade that I proposed? So there's a Pirates scout in Dow Diamond this week, and he was like, "Hey, where are the rosters?" And I didn't know who he was. I was like, "Oh, come here, I'll show you where the rosters are." Picked one up, turned around, I saw his backpack and a Pirates logo on it. So, "You don't work for the Pirates, do you?" Knowing he did. He was like, "No, yeah, I do." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like, have a good one." And then I thought about it for like 6 seconds, and I was like, I need to find this guy immediately. So I ran downstairs. He's sitting in the crowd. This is way before the game. And I think this might even be before gates opened. I don't know. I guess the scouts just get in. And I sat down. I go, all right, most people have told me I'm crazy, but I have a proposal for you here. I get it. You don't want to trade Paul Skeens, but I think the Tigers are in a unique circumstance to where they have the number one farm system, and I laid out the entire thing. I don't want to redo it because we did it earlier this week.
Yeah, please don't.
And he was probably like, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, I talk on the radio
did you not
around
tell him
here.
who you were?
I did after I halfway through it. I was like, oh yeah, I talk on the radio around here. And here's what I've been saying. And this guy looked at me like I was nuts. And he looked at me dead in the eyes and was like, he looked at me dead in the eyes. He was like, Paul Skeens is 23. He's the best right-handed pitcher in baseball. He's making less than $1 million for the next 2 seasons. Once you get into the arbitration years where there's something being negotiated, it's possible. But I don't see it happening for the next 2 seasons. And I said, okay. But how about O'Neal Cruz? He was like, no. He did not seem interested in talking to me.
The fact that it took you to talk to a guy that works in the Pirates organization to realize that is sad. All right, let's get to these so we don't run out of time. First up, stop pretending you know more ball than AJ Hinch. I'm begging you, 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm not saying I do know more ball than AJ Hinch. Sometimes I just, give him some constructive criticism. Right. I think it's okay to give the coaches and managers for the teams we like.
Should I say the people that are commenting these two or no? Keep that private.
You don't have to say that.
Okay.
But what are we supposed to just yes, AJ Hinch knows more ball than me. So does Dan Campbell. So does.
Yeah, but stop pretending
everybody
like
does.
you know more ball.
I'm not. I just have some suggestions once in a while. I'm not going to agree with everything that the coaches do. I don't think anyone should. We shouldn't.
This is from
we shouldn't
your
blindly follow people.
Shea Kobe take the other day,
which was that
shut your mouth. Do not compare these two against each other. One's a flopper and one's not. Bryant would never flop like that.
I mean, that might be true. But at the end of the day,
shut your mouth is so funny.
Yeah, the shut your mouth part is crazy. I guess I'm not here to defend my takes as much as I am to just kind of make fun of this, but I get it. He flops, unethical, whatever. Getting to the free throw line is ultimately a good thing because it is the highest percentage shot you can possibly have in basketball. It's higher percentage than a layup. Because Shea's shooting like 88% from the line, 86% from the line in these playoffs. It's better than anybody's layup attempts. So I do think at the peak of their powers, they go toe-to-toe.
All right, here's a good one. You smoking crack, bro. Stay off the drugs. This is about the Kobe Bryant thing. He died, so people think it's free range to disrespect the bean. And it be the people that have no facts.
That entire reel was laid out, built on facts. We posted it, and I was like, there's too much facts and not opinion on this. It's just reading stats. I think because this is going to sound crazy, but also whatever. I think after Kobe passed away, there was like this period where you couldn't say anything negative about him. And I think people have taken that too far to where it's like, if he was still around, like RIP, I think I think the viewpoint on Kobe and how people talked about him would just be a little bit different. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. This is back-to-back comments.
From the same person?
Of them. No, different people. This is a Facebook one.
Oh, God.
This is the dumbest take. Like, have you ever even seen baseball? And then, following that, Sonny
Boy.
Boy.
What was this? What was the reel?
This is the Paul Skeens video on Facebook.
Okay.
The following comment. Sonny Boy, go home and have mommy make you some hot chocolate. It's obvious you're not feeling well.
What does that mean? Sonny Boy? Hot chocolate in the summer is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but have you ever even seen baseball? What is it?
No. Nope. Never.
Yeah, you don't watch baseball every single day here at Dow Diamond.
Quite literally, I'm consumed by baseball 24/7.
John comments, not John Vicari, just a different John. Why am I listening to this sophomore in high school?
I don't know. Why are you? Keep scrolling. No one's forcing you to listen to this. That's awesome. That's incredible. I've been told I look young, but a sophomore in high school is nuts, man.
Yeah, that would imply you're like 50.
Come on.
It's just crazy.
Okay, that's mean.
We'll run through a couple more of these. Y'all need to cut it out with making videos about Paul Skeens getting traded. It's not happening.
He was right. I think he had every right to comment that.
He must have talked to your boy.
The Pirate Scout, yeah. No, that's right. That's good.
So
that's good.
The Steelers fans were pretty upset with you over the Aaron Rodgers thing. This guy says, because you said that they were going under this year or whatever, I'll be back around November to laugh at you.
When he's like, I told you we'd go 9-8-1.
It's terrible. All right, let's get through one more of these really quick. This is why this guy is recording in his basement and not in the front office of an MLB team.
Bro, what? Who records a podcast in the front office of an MLB team? And also, we are clearly not in a basement. This is like a nice studio.
In a baseball stadium. You can see it.
Oh my God. Some people, man. All right, that's going to do it for Friday morning showdown. Well, Friday morning Smackdown. Is that what we decided to call it?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. In the 11 o'clock hour, still got a whole hour to do. Still got a whole hour to get the people riled up. I have an issue with certain people at the gym. We've got Sarah coming on to give her takes. Her singular take, I guess. We've got our lock of the day to end the show. And, of course, the tradition to end every show, guessing what Colin opens with. It is the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Scott Family Dental, they don't just care for your teeth, they care for you. Dr. Brandon Scott, a Michigan State graduate and Midland native, specializes in preventative, cosmetic, and restorative care. But what truly sets him apart is his commitment to building personal connections with every patient.
I value my patients as unique individuals and strive to make the best care decisions for you. I will always be honest and open regarding your care. That is my promise to you and anyone I treat.
Scott Family Dental. Let's bring out your best smile together.
Hey everyone, Brad Tunney here with The Mitt. And I want to talk to you about my friends over at Maple Hill Nursery, one of the great local family-owned businesses in our region for over 40 years. Now, their specialty is in landscaping with expertise and high-quality trees, plants, and shrubs. They're also a full stocking dealer of Dairy Dew, and they've got Polywood furniture. Now, I've got it all over my backyard. It's maintenance-free and long-lasting and comes in 18 different colors. Stop by Maple Hill Nursery, just 2.5 miles north of the Midland Mall on Eastman.
Looking for the perfect golf getaway? Tee up at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, Midland's hidden gem. Whether you're a scratch golfer or just out for fun, Sandy Ridge offers a beautifully maintained 18-hole course, friendly staff, and unbeatable rates, plus a brand new clubhouse. Book your tee time today at sandyridgegolfcourse.com or call 989-631-6010. Sandy Ridge Golf Course, where great golf meets pure Michigan beauty.
Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers. Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. It's hot! Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hour number 3 on its way right now. But before we get to what we want to talk about, we just did our Friday morning Smackdown, and Kyle ran in here right when we were done and was like, wait, we got one more. So go ahead.
Yeah, this is too good. I mentioned earlier we have a Hendon Hooker mention that we have to get to. This guy commented, on a video that was talking about the culture of Detroit that you talked about. So no Goff, no Hooker involved in this. He just said, hey, weren't you the guy that said Hooker should start over Goff a year ago?
Maybe.
Yes, he was. Yes, that's a good memory there. Maybe that was 2 years ago, but still.
I'm just glad someone remembers, honestly.
That's
I don't
the
know
whole
if
goal, right?
I don't know if anything will beat when I was still at CMU, and we were at Blackstone, and some guy just walked up. He was like, "Weren't you the dummy that didn't want Jahmyr Gibbs to be a Lion?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like most people though. After they took him, he's like, "You hated that pick. You were wrong." Thank you. Deal with it every day. Thank you. Actually, that's not true. I guess I don't deal with it every day. Not in person like that. That was. I was just more so happy.
Called on person's kind of funny, yeah.
I was just like excited someone saw it. I was like, oh.
And that's respect, rather than doing it over a screen.
No, he was a good spirit about it. He wasn't like actually, man. He was like just super drunk, which was funny. Okay, Jackson Jobe out. Not breaking news. That's been out for a couple of days. Yeah, 48 hours ago ish. We learned that. And I started to think to myself, okay, if Casey Mize is slipping and if Jackson Jobe is out for the season, maybe the Tigers need to find another starter, not just another bullpen arm. And the person that came to mind for me was a former Cy Young winner, someone who's struggled a ton this season, and that would be Sandy, now that I know how to say his last name, Alcantara. Sandy Alcantara won the Cy Young Award in 2022 for the Marlins. And 23 dipped a little bit, ERA almost doubled. 2024, he gets Tommy John, misses the entire season, and this year he's been mostly a disaster. ERA starts with a 7. I think if you trade for him, you're buying low. Not only are you buying low, you're pairing him with Chris Fetter, who's been known to fix everybody. Anyone that meets Chris Fetter ends up having career numbers. Jack Flaherty, the perfect example of that. Just about out of a starting job in the leagues, probably coming out of the bullpen here soon. And then he meets Chris Fetter. Chris Fetter fixes him right up. They flip him at the deadline for way more value than what he was traded for a year ago at the deadline when St. Louis traded him to Baltimore. So, and by the way, interesting fact on Chris Fetter that you found out earlier today. I don't know how you just stumbled upon this, but want to go ahead and share with the people how tall Chris Fetter is? Yeah. Incredible stuff.
When we were doing the UFC stuff, I thought about throwing in some coaches,
6'8" is crazy.
6'8's crazy.
How tall is too tall? Like real quick side
In
pass.
general?
Yeah, like I feel like everyone wants to. No, just general society. I feel
in
like
human life,
everyone wants to be tall, but there's definitely a breaking point to where it's like you're too tall. Not you're too tall, but like there's probably some 6'7" people out there that are like, yeah, it kind of sucks to be this.
If
tall.
you're not an athlete, yeah, I think anything over like 6'5" is like it's probably a little bit of a hindrance.
So you get a comment on it basically no matter where you are.
But I would rather be that height than my current height.
You'd rather be 6'7" than what are you 5'11"?
I'm like 5'9".
You'd rather be 6'7" than 5'9"? Really?
I said 6'5".
Oh.
6'7" is too tall. I agree.
But you'd rather be 6'5"? Yeah. I don't know if I'm like 6'3", 6'4" if I have shoes on. I feel like that's good. It's
a good question for John Vicari, too,
He would definitely have some blazing takes on this. Oh, just
No,
blazing.
I mean, we're like the same height, which is funny.
Anyway, Sandy Alcantara. That's how you say it. Cy Young winner in 2022. I think if the Tigers were able to trade for him, it'd be a buy low situation, and that'd be a nasty arm to add to the bullpen if you can fix him up a little bit. Again, his ERA is horrendous this season, but back-to-back good starts, notably against the two worst offenses in baseball and the Pirates and the Rockies, but still, nonetheless, starting to get that fastball velocity back up, 98 miles per hour. You introduce him to Chris Fetter, fix him up, 1-2-3 punch of Skubal, Flaherty, and any sort of reminiscence of what Sandy was in 2022, I think the Tigers have something nasty going into the postseason. Still, that doesn't make up for the lack of trust in the bullpen outside of guys named Vest and Kahnle. You'd still probably have to address that. But again, it's not like, hey, one move at the deadline and the Tigers are all done. I think the Tigers should be ultra aggressive here, considering how deep their farm system is these days. And I wouldn't be surprised if they made 2 to 3 moves at the deadline rather than just one. And normally the Sandy trade, trading for another Cy Young or a former Cy Young, that's like an enormous deal, especially only 3 years removed from winning the award. But he's had such a bad start to the season that I don't think it would cost that much at all. And if they can add someone like that and a bullpen arm and someone to fit in that left side of the infield, a right-handed bat, that's how you hit a grand slam at the deadline. To expect all three of those things, unlikely, but
yeah, that's too far.
2 of the 3, is that too much to ask?
No, because I think bullpen arm for sure gets acquired. No matter what, that will happen.
That's becoming more and more transparent.
I just think it obviously will.
We already thought that, and then that bullpen day against the White Sox, where one of the worst offenses in baseball just destroyed the Tigers' bullpen, was basically yep, all right, bullpen, number 1 priority at the trade deadline.
And it's just when you're a good team, you can never have enough good bullpen guys. Even if your bullpen is good, you can always add another one.
Correct. And outside of Kahnle and Vest, no bueno. Brisky got sent down. He's been so bad.
Balling.
They left. Yeah, he has. Brisky got left out there to die in the 10-1 loss.
Was that kind of disrespectful?
No, he needed to get 1 out. They weren't going to go kill someone else's arm in day 2 of a series when you've got a home series coming up too.
Yeah, you're right.
He needed to get 1 out, and he gave up 5 runs before that happened. 1 out. And he couldn't do it, and they were like, enough of this guy. Goodbye. You're done. See you in Toledo.
Welcome Gage Jump.
Who's 265?
Yeah, we thought about throwing him in the heavyweight. Never seen him once, though.
I need to see him first. I need to see him.
So
maybe we
he
see him
can be
today.
this year's Brant Herter, hopefully.
It's no Chase Lee. Yeah, I think bullpen is clearly still the top priority for this Tigers team. I might even go starter number 2 now that Job's out and now that Casey Mize is kind of the last thing I want is just Casey Mize regression, and then you get to the postseason. It's now we don't trust this guy because we were banking on him to have another fantastic, he had a great start to the year, better than expected. Now you got to adjust a little bit because we might be going back to the means right now. I'd love to expect Casey Mize to continue to pitch lights out, but I don't think the Tigers should just assume that that's going to happen for the remainder of the season. And then, of course, another right-handed bat would be good. Suarez, the guy that the Tigers drafted back in 2014 and plays for the Diamondbacks right now, interesting because you see the right-handed bat and it's oh, great fit, good OPS. Similar to Zach McKinstry, though, who's a left-handed bat, has the reverse split. So it actually, I don't know how much it helps as much as people would think it would be because he's actually a lot.
But he's still, overall a good hitter, though.
He's not that good of a hitter against left-handed pitching, ironically. You have 560 OPS. He just crushes righties, which is strange. And to have another guy on the team that
But you face
has the
righties more
reverse
than
splits.
lefties, so it would still be beneficial for sure.
Yes, it'd still be beneficial. You'd add a good guy, but also someone who's horrendous defensively this season. I was looking into it last night because I was trying to figure out topics, and I was okay, maybe we need to do the Suarez thing. But horrendous defender and doesn't really help you against the left-handed pitching, which is kind of the mission right now in what you're looking for. So I'm out on that. I'm still out on Bo Bichette as well. I still haven't found the perfect guy to trade for in terms of the bat. I'm working at end's length to figure out that person, but I haven't figured it out quite yet.
Well, the good news is the Tigers do have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
At least figure out what is the true need, because with Kiter Montero and Sawyer Gibson-Long and maybe Alex Cobb, you give these guys a month to see if they can actually contribute the rest of the year. Give Casey Mize a month and a half to, see if he can get his stride back. And then also give Javi Baez another sample of a month. Is he going to really go back to being unplayable? Is Zach McKinstry going to hold up? Is Matt Vierling ever going to return? Those are questions that the Tigers would for sure love to have answered before they make any crazy trades.
Matt Vierling should be close.
Yes, the way they've been talking about it.
He hit IL.
We need a Tigers PR injury update, desperately.
So Matt Vierling hit the IL, the 15-day IL, May 27th. So we should be getting a Matt Vierling return here soon. But that shoulder inflammation, it's just scary, man. And I
don't know if they're going to want to have him do another rehab because he did for quite some time already.
What's the harm in it, I guess?
Right.
We should be getting Matt Vierling back relatively soon. But yeah, like you said, we're really in need of a Tigers injury update from Tigers PR. Because an Olsen update would be real nice right about now, too.
Yeah, I forgot to mention him,
where the hell
too.
has he been? Because I think his IL stint is over, in terms of it being up, but
yeah, it's
still
definitely over.
nowhere to be seen. I don't think we have any idea when.
I would love
when
an
his
Alex
return
Cobb
is.
update. He's been on rehab with West Michigan for some time.
Just living it up in GR, 989-837-6125. Do you have boring floors? Do you have sad showers? Well, Premier Tile and Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks turn tile into art, whether it's kitchens, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll make it look beautiful. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $14.99 an issue. Giant selection of fancy stuff like porcelain, ceramic, natural stone, and probably materials you can't even pronounce, but you'll definitely love. And that's kind of why I paused on porcelain. Still not really sure I said that right. Stop dreaming and start scheming. Visit the showroom. Let your inner interior designer run wild. That is Premier Tile and Stone, where your floors get fabulous and grout gets glorious. Coming up next, got an issue with these certain types of people at the gym when they do this. It bothers me in a big way. Then we've got Sarah coming on to give her take of the week. I don't know how she's going to top last week. We've got our Mitt Morning Catch, got our lock of the day, and of course, the tradition to end every show, guessing what Colin Cowherd has to open with right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Great Lakes falling last night to Wisconsin in Game 3 of 6 here at Dow Diamond, score 9-2. Luke Fox went 6 strong, striking out 6, but Wisconsin would lead the whole way to take Game 3. But those 2 runs that the Loons got, coming in the bottom of the 6th inning, Zaire Hope continued his stellar season for Great Lakes with an extra base hit that scored 2.
The 1-2. Hope swings, liner in the air to right, and that one's trouble. One hops the wall. George will score. DePaula hits third. It's dug out in right. The throw coming from the middle infield is not in time. DePaula head first with the dive, comes across.
We got a ton of fun coming this weekend here at Dow Diamond. It was Pride Night last night, Friday the 13th tonight, so it's a Halloween night, Saturday Star Wars night, and Sunday a Father's Day celebration. First pitch Friday, same time, 7:05, pregame coverage at 6:50 on 100.9 The Mitt.
Discover championship golf with amazing views at Apple Mountain in Freeland. Whether you're chasing birdies or just out for a relaxing round, Apple Mountain offers a stunning 18-hole experience for every skill level. Perfect greens, scenic fairways, and a course that plays as beautifully as it looks. Book your tee time now at applemountain.com. Apple Mountain. Golf elevated. Just minutes from Saginaw, but miles from the ordinary.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in, Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt. Look, man, I'm going to be real honest. So, Midland Community Center, great place to work out. Just a little bonus ad. But not really, because it's kind of just genuine. I'll be there in a little bit after the show ends. But, you know, I like to finish my lift or do whatever I'm doing, and then typically I head to the sauna. 15 minutes, sit in there, hopefully peaceful and quiet. There's two types of people that walk in there that I cannot stand. If you walk into the sauna, open up the door, let all the cold air in, sit down, and then decide in the next 60 seconds, actually, this is way too hot, I don't want to be here, then proceed to leave and open the door for the second time in 60 seconds, and again let all the cold air in, we are enemies for the rest of eternity. That is an unforgivable thing to me. It's insane behavior. You have to understand, if you walk into the sauna, you are there for at least a few minutes. Do not walk in and decide, never mind. It's mostly children who do this, and it's mostly elderly people who do this. But as soon as you open the door twice within a minute, and especially the people who open the door and have no care for like shutting it right away, it ruins it in there, man. It's supposed to be hot. Man. It's very unetiquette. It bothers me to... it's so annoying when people do this, because then you have to like wait another 5 minutes for even it to get back up to what it was at originally, right? I don't know how hot it is in there. I don't usually look at the temperature or the thermometer, but I do it based on feel. And when I walk in and it's colder, I'm like, someone just opened the door and left it open for like 5 seconds.
So how else are they supposed to get in, man?
You get in, sit down, shut your mouth.
You want them to
don't
teleport
say
into the sauna?
No, you can open the door and come back in and sit down. But don't, the people who like just like leave open the door, like waddle their way out of there and leave the door open for 7 seconds. It's like you just ruined the sauna for everyone else for the next 5 minutes. Thanks. Or you come in, sit down. It's mostly kids who do this. I can't believe they let kids in there. They'll open the door for like 25 seconds, be like, never mind. And then they open the door again, swing it all the way open, and then I want to lose my mind when this happens.
Yeah, because it takes quite some time for the sauna to heat back up, too. That is the tough part.
So mad. And the other thing that makes me so mad about people in the sauna is the people who just like will have full-on conversations in there. It's like, no. This is not the time. This is not social hour. This is not social hour. The sauna is supposed to be the time for peace and quiet, for meditation. I throw the AirPods in. I'm usually listening to a podcast or relaxing music because I'm trying to just, like refresh myself for the rest of the day or the morning or whenever I'm in there. That is like 15 minutes of me time. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to close my eyes. If nobody's in there, I'll maybe stretch a little bit. But I just want to sit there in peace and quiet. And then some people take it upon themselves. No, it's chit-chat hour. Let's go in here and have a full-blown conversation for everyone to hear. Nobody else wants to hear that, man. That is the wrong place and time for a conversation. The only thing that's worse than that, and this has only happened once to me, is some dude went in there and just started watching a TV on his phone. Full volume. No headphones. Just no care for anybody else in there.
That's actually diabolical.
That is insane.
Doing that in any public setting is crazy.
First of all, you're destroying your phone. Like, I know it's bad to bring my phone in there. I do it anyway, but I try not to look at it. I try to just, hey, here's the music or the podcast or whatever. Put it in the phone. Don't turn it on. You actually streaming something on your phone in that heat, murdering your Apple products. Murdering it. But for someone to just no care for anyone else, full volume on the thing, psychopath behavior. Like, truly psychopath behavior.
This is not people you hate at the gym. This is just sauna talk. Like, this is all relative to the sauna.
Yes. Well, I guess I have one more thing for the weight room.
Well, can I respond to your sauna thing quick?
Yeah, that's...
You bring your AirPods and phone into the sauna?
Yeah.
See, I feel like the sauna is like, you got to raw dog it. Like, you got to... Nothing. Like, it's just... I'm a close my eyes guy as well. Just sit in there. I like it silent, but I like nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to bring my phone in there either because, like you said, it gets wet and it's hot. AirPods
I need to listen to something, man. Because if I go in there and don't have my AirPods and people are talking, I'm gonna get real upset. Honestly, it might be worse when I have my AirPods, I'm listening to music, and the music's being ruined by people having conversations in there.
I don't really hate, though, like, a little bit of small talk.
No. Because maybe it's fine for you, but you're ruining it for the people who are just there to just sit and relax. I think there should be a sign that says no talking in the sauna. And also, do not, if you're coming in, you 2-minute minimum. You cannot come in and decide to leave in 30 seconds.
What if someone gets in the sauna, it's like, oh, crap. They see the clock up on the wall, like, oh, shoot, I didn't realize I have to dip out of here.
Be better. You got to be better
Right,
time management.
okay.
Get an Apple Watch or something, man.
This is the most active our
ridiculous.
YouTube chat has been all show today, and it's for this sauna talk.
It's ridiculous that people do this. It's mostly it's a lot of kids, but there's also adults who do this. I was in there yesterday, and some guy just opened the door wide open, like has no conceptual understanding of like it's colder when you open the door. Wide open. Doesn't try to. I always try to slip in. Door closes.
Yeah,
as long as possible.
Obviously,
this guy just like
you got to know that
grand entrance, swings it wide open, walks into the sauna. 15 seconds later, I don't want to be in the sauna. Whips the door open, and the door was probably open for like 10 seconds in total in the span of 30 seconds. And I was like, okay, great. Now it's cold in here, and I'm leaving. I was so mad. That's supposed to be peaceful time, and I was so angry leaving the sauna. I got a little bit too mad. You
just got a little bit too mad right there, even.
I know. I mean, I was thinking about it.
I'm even a guy that if I walk up to the sauna and there's like over like 6 people in there, I'm just like out. Man, I'm good. I'll pass today.
When there's no one in there, it's the best feeling ever.
Oh, it's the best.
Especially
I'll
after
sit there
a lift.
for 45 minutes.
Okay, that's crazy. I don't think I can do more than 20 minutes, man. The one in the community center is hot, like really hot.
That's the point.
Until dummies start opening the door and walking in and out and in and out and in and out. The worst is on the weekends when there's just kids playing in the pool who are just in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out constantly. I'm not a very someone who confronts people a lot. Like, I'm not a very confrontational person. I'm starting to be because of that. Like now I have no problem being like, hey, in or out. Are you?
There's no way you say that to a kid at the sauna.
I did last Saturday. In or out.
God, dude.
You have to make up your mind. Close the door.
You're about to get yelled at by a mom, dude.
Go ahead. I'll have a conversation with her. Get your kids under control, man.
Right. That's the best thing in the world to say to a mother. Yeah.
Dude, I've got a valid argument.
Get your kids
you're making your kids making the sauna cold and ruining it for everybody else. Go play in the kiddie pool, okay? Go sit in the hot tub.
The sauna.
Yeah, the sauna. The sauna. There's one more person at the gym that's not a singular person. But if you are taking mirror selfies in a public gym, like in the weight room, I'm going to lose a little bit of respect for you. I'm not going to lie. That's something you do in the locker room or at home, more specifically. In front of everyone, like imagine how much bigger you could look if you decided to use all the time you spend taking photos in actually working out.
This is your most boomer take of all time.
Dude, progression pictures are one thing.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but it's like...
But like the people that sit there and just like, for like 5 minutes, just like take pictures, like, come on, man. Like, use those 5 minutes.
Oh, you're talking like flexing pictures and stuff?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Like sitting there doing poses in the mirror. Go lift. The photos are going to look better if you go lift at the gym. I guess.
Why do you care so much about what other people are doing?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That just sparked something in your brain right there.
Yeah, maybe this is a me problem. maybe these are just all my insecurities coming to fruition here. But no, I get that. I get it. Just annoys because it's a distraction for everybody else. Also,
I understand taking pictures though for progress purposes and everything. Like I understand that.
Also, the grunters. Like it's one thing to let out like a. I don't want to make the noise.
Control it though.
No. I'm okay with that. Like noise. I don't want silence at the gym. Like I'm not saying everyone has to be silent while they're lifting, but the people,
the yellers,
the screamers.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, dude.
You can
so
control
unnecessary.
That, yes.
So unnecessary. And I guess I just did. And now I'm getting strange looks from people. But
our YouTube chat is just blowing up right now with sauna gym stuff. This is crazy.
How are you?
Full-on conversations going on.
How are you with jewelry? I have to take my chain off in the sauna or else my neck is burning.
Logan.
Yeah, that's not... I don't know.
Keeping metal on your body in a sauna? Like
my Apple Watch doesn't heat up. I usually keep that on.
Really?
Can't be 8 people in there with 2 having a conversation. Agreed. Yeah, if it's... Yeah. Just no talking in the sauna, I think. No talking.
What if you go in the sauna with your buddy? You just can't talk to them?
Now, if there's one other person there, just know you're ruining it for them.
Yeah, that's
It's one
fair.
thing if you walk in and like there's
that's
like
fair.
10 people in there and everyone's kind of like chatting with the person next to them. Like, okay, then it's like it's just already been established in a social setting that this is like a social.
Yeah, the sauna etiquette has been adjusted.
Yes.
In that scenario.
But if you and your buddy walk in there and there's one person in there with his eyes closed and you guys start chatting, shame on you. Jared says lack of door courtesy is an epidemic. I think just lack of courtesy in general these days is somewhat of an epidemic, you know? People just not looking out for the guy next to them these days anymore. You know?
Fair.
Yeah, that's all I had to say about the gym today. Sorry. Be there in a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to go there and mess with the sauna while Ben's in it, just let us know. It'd be funny.
989-837-6125. It's something I've been looking forward to for a full week. Sarah's take of the week next here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Kari Kiefer from Freeland High School. With a 3.97 GPA, Kari is a three-sport athlete competing in cross-country, track, and basketball. Kari is a leader on the floor and talked on what she thinks makes an effective leader.
I think to be a great leader, you have to be able to hold each other accountable, like being able to give constructive criticism, but also a positive with it. Anytime I kind of talk with my teammates, I try to give them a positive if I'm going to give them a negative too, just to kind of balance it out and keep that relationship strong.
Kari scored over 1,500 points in her 4 seasons at Freeland. She'll continue her basketball and academic career at Northwood University. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got it on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active? Definitely. Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. It is the Ben Bosscher Show. This is something we did last Friday, and it went so well that we're going to do it again. I'm already so excited. So our director of sales, Sarah Stockford, gave us her take of the week last week, and she told us that she was out on Patrick Mahomes, right? So Sarah's joining us again. You seem pretty surprised by the feedback that you got on social media.
I didn't feel like anyone would care that much about my opinion. Someone called me a sportscaster, which was pretty elite. Mm-hmm. They said I was overrated, but I was like, all right. But I didn't think anyone would really care that much.
That's far from the meanest comment you got, I feel like.
For sure. People were letting me have it.
So for anyone who doesn't know, you say the thing about Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take your gum out.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. So she says the thing about Mahomes, Josh Allen's better, whatever. Someone picked it up on Twitter, and it got like 400,000 impressions.
Yeah,
and we didn't even post it on Twitter.
Being straight up mean.
Yeah, just a Chiefs account was just like, look at this Sarah Stockford person from the Mitt.
They called her a radio host, too.
They did. They called me a radio host, and almost Andy Reid followed me and also called me a buffoon. So I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I've never aggravated another fan base that bad. So
yeah,
congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Better at my job than me. Okay. I don't know how you're going to top last week. So
yeah, I know.
Floor is yours.
So I think people will agree with me on at least maybe the first part. So I think the Cleveland Browns
oh boy,
are better off having 5 quarterbacks than the Steelers are having Aaron Rodgers right now. I think Aaron Rodgers is a boohoo baby. He gets hurt all the time. And I have faith that the Cleveland Browns will make a comeback this year. Because Kevin Stefanski, I believe in what he's got going on. I feel like people will somewhat agree with me on that one.
I think you pissed less people off with that one.
Yeah, I think I did.
That's like.
And I don't really care either way because it's just like my opinion.
That's right.
But that's how I feel.
That's the mindset you should have.
That's correct.
This is how you bounce back in terms of you get the Kansas City fans back on your side, and it's like, you know what? This is actually a well thought out, smart take here.
That's what I'm saying.
Better off with 5 quarterbacks. Okay, so only one can play at a time though.
Correct. Yeah.
Who is that one person going to be?
Joe Flacco.
Joey.
He took them to the playoffs in 2023, and I have faith he can do it again.
She's coming with.
I'm coming with facts and facts only.
She's coming
People
with
in the YouTube
facts
chat
today.
are loving it, Sarah.
Great, perfect.
Yeah, Ian said, "Boo-hoo, baby Rodgers." That is great stuff. Jeff Ross, great take. 100% agree. Wow.
See, I'm back. I'm back now. Well, Kansas City still hates me, but it's okay.
You're not coming back from that. The fact that people took it so seriously is just hilarious to me. She literally said he's a worse player partially because he was in a Hallmark movie.
That's correct.
Little did you know, Josh Allen also getting a Hallmark movie.
Yes, I didn't know that.
A lot of people let you know about that.
Yes. Someone definitely let me know they're getting one this year, Sweetheart. So that was really nice.
Did you watch the Kansas City one?
No.
Okay, you just out of the
I
idea
saw it and I saw the commercial and I was like, okay, we've gone too far.
All right. Well, that's Sarah's take of the week, everybody. That was good stuff. Thank you for coming on, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
We'll see how many people she can piss off with that one. Man, you had the YouTube chat going crazy. Okay, so
they're loving it, man.
Yeah, they are. That's 100% happening every Friday at this point going forward. All right, with that being said, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, we're back into the news today. Not a ton going on, obviously, on this Friday in sports, but we went through a good amount of the stuff earlier. Tonight, Tigers starting off a 3-game series with the Reds. Kiter Montero taking on Nick Martinez, 7-10 first pitch. Back at Comerica Park, another weekend series at home.
Yeah, should be fun stuff. I haven't seen anything about like sell out all 3 nights again. I think that was like partially a Cubs thing too. But nonetheless, it should be a pretty good atmosphere in Comerica Park every day this weekend. day game
This
tomorrow.
is something that we missed earlier. Pretty crazy news here. So obviously, if you remember in 2019, very unfortunate, Tyler Skaggs, a pitcher for the Angels, passed away over an overdose, like in the middle of their trip to Texas or whatever. Recently coming out that Reds pitcher Wade Miley has been proven to provide the drugs that Skaggs overdosed on, who's Miley, a 38-year-old pitcher in the Angels organization, not facing any criminal charges or anything, but wow, just a crazy situation.
If he's not facing any, is he like still pitching though for the Reds? Like he's just gonna roll out there with this news out there? Like what's gonna happen?
Funny enough, Wade Miley pitched against the Loons earlier this season on a rehab assignment with Dayton and gave up 2 homers to Josue DePaula in a 38-year-old versus 19-year-old matchup. So I would assume he's still pitching. Just a really weird situation going on, though.
Yeah.
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 All right, moving on. Last night, Oilers tie it up 2-2 apiece with the Panthers with a 5-4 win. Man, I just can't believe that no goal from Connor McDavid. You know, that's what I can't believe.
It's happened 4 straight games. When are you going to start believing it? I think the series has to finish. For
Last
me to
night
believe
was
he's
the
not
game
gonna
for him to
score.
do it. Right?
Yeah. I'm gonna bet it on it again in Game 5 this weekend, though. It won't be my lock.
We got
today,
some
but
Antonio Brown news. Unfortunate Antonio Brown news as well. Can't go very long without it. Police are looking for his arrest on an attempted murder charge during a celebrity boxing match last month in Miami. Yeah, just brutal from AB, man. This could be the worst yet.
yeah, which is saying something.
Yeah, there's been a lot of options there.
Fire up.
Tigers Twins on June 29th. Sunday Night Baseball. First Sunday Night Baseball game at Comerica Park since 2017.
That's way too long, man. Way too long. What do you think they saw the games last week against the Cubs? Were like, oh yeah, we gotta come back here. They saw the Friday night crowd and they were like, let's do it. Sunday night, ESPN.
They're also just the best team in baseball.
Yeah, that'll help. You said against the Twins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who have been solid, you know.
They've been hot. They've been cold. They've been far from consistent, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you think they'll work it around to be a Scooble start?
Ooh, they might honestly make the Tigers do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they picked it. I mean, maybe it looks like it might be. I know it's kind of far out, but maybe it looks like it might be on track to be that. So
read the next thing. I'll look it up.
We'll give a quick update on the U.S. Open leaderboard. As far as guys that have played so far today, Sam Burns all the way up to third, 4 under today through 12 holes, 2 under total. Victor Hovland was doing really good for a while. He's now just 2 under on the day, was 4 under, still all the way up to 5th place. Scotty Scheffler struggling today, man. He came into the day 3 over. He's 2 over today, so 5 over total.
That's your boy.
That's my boy. It's who I thought was going to win. Not doing as bad as Rory and Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
A couple of legends that are also really struggling. Justin Thomas, 10 over total right now.
Turns out it's not the year of the roar. It's not the year to restore that roar for Rory.
No, people thought it was the year of the roar, man. Just not even in the slightest.
And again, whoever made this course, I said his name earlier. I don't remember it. Bad guy.
Brutal. Yeah.
Bad guy.
JJ Spawn, the leader, currently teeing off at 12:52. He's 4 under in first place. And that's it. We got the UFL Championship this weekend, too.
Ooh.
So be on the lookout for that.
I say I'm going to watch it. I probably won't end up watching a snap. I'll probably forget about it, honestly. And then I'll see a bunch of posts like, the Michigan Panthers won it all. It's like, then I got to hear from, I guess I don't have to hear from everyone.
The first championship in Detroit since 2004.
2008.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Would people be happy with that? Because
no. I mean, yeah, they're happy. They're not mad about it, but
it's like a very
it doesn't count.
small, unique niche.
It's like it's
audience.
a G League team won the championship. You know, like who remembers that?
I don't know what it's the equivalent of. Someone just got a hole in one. That's actually nuts. It bounced right in. Wow. I'm trying to figure out who it was. I don't have his name highlighted.
Oh yeah, I just saw it too. Perez.
What a shot.
Perez.
What a
but
shot.
good for him.
All right, when we come back, two traditions to close every show. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. Well, to no one's surprise, Tarek Skubal dominated on the bump once again last night for the Tigers, going 7 scoreless. His last 4 starts, 30 and 2/3 inning pitch, just 1 earned run, a .29 ERA, with 32 strikeouts and just 2 walks allowed. And every time you see Skubal take the mound, Tigers fans more and more want him to sign that extension to stay in Detroit. But to me, I think every time Tarek Skubal takes the mound and continues to look like the back-to-back Cy Young in the American League, his price tag rises. He's going to be the highest paid pitcher in Major League Baseball one way or another, whether it comes via extension through the Tigers or in a year and a half when he hits the open market. I think the Tigers have passed the time where they can extend Tarek Skubal, because why would he sign the extension now when he knows these other teams that have shown to pay top dollar to other free agents in the past will pay more than expected once he hits the open market? So the real question is, if Tarek Skubal is going to hit the open market in a year and a half, that essentially means the World Series window is now for Detroit, because you don't trust that they're going to match any offer that these other big-time market teams are going to offer him in free agency after the 2026 season. I'm just enjoying these Tarek Skubal starts while we have them, because this World Series window for the Tigers is now before Tarek Skubal becomes a free agent in a year and a half. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CARD to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pool, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Some nights are just different. The energy and feeling of being part of something bigger. That's what a Great Lakes Loons group outing is all about.
Whether it's your company, your family, or your best friends, the perfect space is waiting for you at Dow Diamond.
Relax in a private group venue with catering and wait service, or take in the action from a spacious pavilion where an all-you-can-eat buffet and amazing views bring everyone together.
With group packages starting at just $15 per person, it's more than just a game. It's an affordable shared experience at night out.
The best memories start here with your hometown team. Just visit loons.com.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. 2 traditions to close out every show. Lock of the day, and of course, we're going to guess Colin's Open for this wonderful Friday in the Great Lakes Bay region. Shout out everyone watching on YouTube as well. You guys have been fantastic. We're officially through 2 weeks of the show, Kyle.
It's crazy, dude.
And
this is the fastest week ever.
This week? I think it's because of the Loons games.
I know, it's
doing
what I'm
the
saying.
show,
Like, this week
and
has
then
flown by.
You're probably pretty sleep deprived.
Slept, yeah, right.
Yeah. You getting okay sleep?
Oh, I'm all good,
Because you're getting home pretty late with the Loons. You got to drive home, and then you're here pretty early in the morning. I was worried about you.
It's all part of the grind, man. I appreciate your concern, though.
You able to sleep in tomorrow? I know you got that wedding.
Yep.
Okay.
That I am.
I want videos of you getting down at the wedding on the dance floor.
Yes, me getting down and whipping and naying.
Wait, what did you tell me about the guy who wrote that song? The Whip and Nay song?
Silento. He's like got arrested for something.
For what? You don't know what for?
I think it was like for murdering somebody. I shouldn't laugh.
Middle school me would be
Let's
heartbroken.
move on.
Middle school me would be heartbroken about that news. Okay, let's do our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
So, quick update on the all-time record and the weekly record. Kyle, please.
Yeah, this is like a huge day for you.
Okay.
Because currently you are over all-time 0.62 units. So a loss today would put you under all-time. On the week, you're just over 0.1 unit. So you are up technically, but a loss obviously would put you down. All-time record, you're 4-5, so you're trying to get back to even today with a win. And weekly record, you're 2-2. So this is like a huge day for lock of the day, whether you win the week, money-wise and record-wise.
See, we're trying to get this thing sold too. I can't have Sarah going to our clients and saying, "Hey, this guy has a win percentage of 440.
Yeah,
do you want to sign on?"
0.1 units, like it's a lock.
Hey, if you want to sponsor this, go ahead and call Sarah. Here's the thing. Connor McDavid is the reason that we are not up way more. If he has one goal.
4 L's. You know how many total L's you have in lock of the day?
5?
5. 4 of them.
4 of them are because Connor McDavid can't find the back of the net. Maybe, you know what? Maybe.
And 3 of them are your own fault, too.
Why?
The first one is like, I'll give you that one. Yeah, Connor McDavid. As soon as you triple down and then quadruple down.
I'm not tripling down. I'm just, you know what the worst way to bet is like, I'm going to bet on it sometimes, not every day. Like, you got to be consistent with your bets sometimes. And I was committed to this from the beginning. I was going to bet.
You're right, but you get burned by the same thing twice. It's like, okay, man.
I know, but
move on.
I know. Here's the good news. It won't be our lock of the day today because they don't play.
Won't be today.
I will
Maybe
personally
Monday.
be betting on it again on Saturday when they play. And then I don't think they play again until Tuesday. And if he doesn't score again on Saturday, I'll bet it again on Tuesday. Because I'm not gonna not do it and then him score. I always said from the beginning, we will do it until he scores. 7 games. If we take 7 L's, so be it. Seems unlikely to me. Maybe a little bit more likely now that he's gone 4 games without it. But it was always going to be, hey, he's going to score once. We'll ride it until he scores, and then we're out on it. And I'm not changing the strategy. I believe in the strategy, even though it hasn't worked out. You know, sometimes you write a good game plan. You think it's the right way to go. It is, and it still doesn't go your way. And that's okay. You know, that's okay.
So what do you got today?
Today.
In an ultra important pick.
Throw the graphic up. Because if I'm being completely honest, I thought of something and I felt really good about it, and then I forgot what it is.
It's Shea 35 plus points.
Oh, that's right. And I'm not. I actually bet on it already. So don't be like, oh, this guy has no idea what he's talking about.
What it
we
was.
just did a 3-hour show. Okay, we did a 3-hour show. I already have it saved in my my generic sportsbook account. Like I've already bet on it. So I do believe in this, and I feel really good about it. Better than I did yesterday about the Connor McDavid goal. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had a bad game 3. I don't know about bad, but a very rare...
To his standards, yeah.
To his standards, did not do it good enough. And to the point I made yesterday, I think he's looking around at his role guys who aren't used to having the ball in their hands late in these games, and they look flustered. J-Dub had a couple shots late in the Game 3 game where it was like, I got it, guys, don't worry. You did not have it. You did not have it. Dort was missing shots late. Caruso was missing shots late. Everyone was kind of flustered at the end of the game. I think Shea saw that, and today is like, screw everybody here. I'm not letting us lose this game. I will put the team on my back. He's going to go Kobe Bryant, 04 mode, Michael Jordan, pre-Phil Jackson mode. Like, everything runs through Shea tonight. Plus 35 points is plus, what is it, 102?
106.
106? So you're not getting great value for a guy to score 35 points. It's plus odds regardless, though, which I think anytime you get plus odds, it's all right. And that's what we're aiming for most of the time. I think he's just like, screw everybody else. This is my game tonight. I'm getting to the free throw line 15 times. I'm scoring. Don't worry about me in the fourth quarter. Don't worry about me in the first quarter. Some people step up in the middle. I'll take care of the rest. I think he puts up crazy numbers today. Not just like, oh, he had a great game. He's just going to shoot the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, I like this pick because I think OKC wins big tonight. And if they win big, it means Shea goes off.
He scored 27 in Game 3. And it was like the first time he hadn't scored 30 in like forever. So, yeah.
And it was a bad game, quote unquote.
Yeah, bad game to Shea standards. I think he sees that. He sees it. No, I think his trust level is going to go down. The same way that Kobe's trust level was way down early in his career. The same way Michael Jordan didn't trust any of his teammates early on pre-Phil Jackson. I've got Shea here tonight, putting the ball in his hands and taking control of the game. 35 points. That is your lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Okay, so the other tradition we have. We're guessing Colin Howard's open. Did either of us score yesterday?
No. I did NBA Finals talk, but I got the Finals topic wrong.
He was basically just saying Pacers were awesome, right?
Yeah, he basically was just like saying the Pacers played really good. There was no real take. And I was wrong. I thought he was going to go, legacy Pacers thing.
You're being pretty...
He went Bengals, I think.
You're being... he didn't go... I went Bengals, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you deserve a point for that?
No, because I said that they were going to say the Pacers were the worst, like the most random champion ever.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty specific about that.
Yeah. And
I should have just said Pacers. I should have just said Pacers win, but I didn't.
Okay, well, today's a little bit trickier. No NBA Finals. He certainly is not leading with hockey. He's certainly not leading with baseball. Definitely not leading with the U.S. Open. It's got to be... Whose turn is it to go first? I don't know.
It's my turn to go first.
Okay, I don't know why I'm helping you out here, so...
Wait.
I'll back off. Go ahead.
Did you... No. No, it is my turn. Yeah. Because you gave me Finals yesterday. I think he leads with Antonio Brown. I think he leads with AB.
Wait, did I?
Yeah, because you just threw me Finals, which was crazy out of you.
Which means okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I'm going with AB, though. I think he leads with Antonio Brown and talking just about how much of a disaster he's been post-retirement and just in general.
One of the more fascinating careers. That's a crazy pick. But I can see it. It is a crazy
pick. But what else is he talking about?
Most of the minicamp
trying to even up the score.
Yeah, I know. I might have to double dip and go Finals again. You know what? No, I'm double dipping on a topic he's already led with twice. The Steelers, actually.
Ooh. More Steelers? It's already happened twice this week.
I don't think he has the balls to lead with the Jaguars and Travis Hunter. It's just not a big enough market for him.
Yeah, he would never do something that crazy.
You know what? I'm going KD. KD trade talk. KD trade talk is my final answer.
I like that. I thought about it yesterday. It didn't happen, but I do like it.
Yeah, KD trade talk. Specifically.
Trying to even up the score for me. It's 2-1. You're up.
Okay. Goals to get 1 a week. I've got my 2. Colin, you're on watch. All right, everyone. 2 weeks. I can't believe how fast that went by. 2 weeks of the Ben Bosscher Show. Thank you, everyone who has listened and everyone out there right now. We'll be back on Monday. A lot of Tigers to discuss. That was Ben Bosscher Show. See ya.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on